Lord help us today. Lord help us today. This came across my desk last night. I did a quick pre-record on it, but I already knew I had to go live on it. So we are here. We are gathered here today. That's how I feel. We are gathered here today. Dearly depart. I mean, feels like a goddamn funeral doing this. Like, goddamn. Like, okay, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. You already know if you are familiar with my channel or just vaguely paying attention to things. They some time ago they did the get your booty to the pole, where they had strippers twerking with the word vote written on their butt cheeks to try to embolden black men to get out and vote. That didn't work. More black men voted GOP. So they took it a step further with the no voting, no vucking, appealing to our base level nature. They're basically, if they were just simply trying to get women to go on a sex strike for black men who don't vote, okay, that's ridiculous. But to add insult to injury, they had the black women bring their gay friend in on it. The words, if you ain't voting, you ain't getting this booty, came out of the mouth of a man in a political ad targeted to black men. Let's go.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
What is up? What's going on, good people? Welcome everybody to the show. Appreciate each and every one of you being in the building today. You can see what we got going on here. You know we're gonna have a good one for you today. The foolishness and fuckery is at an all-time high, but as usual, shout out to those that make it in bright and early. The early bird squad, as I call it. My man Joe Ethereal came through with the first comment, said Sodomites unite. Man. E. Capone says terrible. I don't even know if he was saying it in Charles Barkley voice, but that's how I interpret it. Terrible, just terrible. Hood Conservative in the building says he laughed for 5 minutes. It's all coming true. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just getting worse. They already, it's like the bottom was hit. You know, it's like they, dig and dig and dig till you reach the bottom, and then once you reach the bottom, you don't stop. You get a jackhammer. You go and get the drills that they used in Armageddon to drill to the center of the asteroid to blow it up from within so it don't hit the earth. You go and get those. Once you hit the bottom, you go and get those drills, and then you start drilling even deeper. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. But shout out to Hood Server that says he lasts for 5 minutes. It's all coming true. Shout out to RM. Says good morning, girl man, our crew. And as she always says, on the way in the building, hit the like button. Hoop Jargon says, we all been waiting for this one. We all been waiting for this one. Logan JJ, shout out to Logan JJ. He says, it's not the no fucking part. It's the Sodom and Gomorrah energy. If Trump was to run again, someone worse than Trump, that's a Republican. Oh, they definitely got my vote. That's where I'm going to be going with this. Shout out to Keep It 100 in the building. Shout out to A1 reparations in the building. In the comment section of the original video, somebody said Republicans for reparations don't sound like a bad slogan at this point. But shout out to Lil Big Nate. He says, God damn it, Bernard Riley does these shows when I can't come on and speak. In A1 reparations says, I can't wait for Nate to speak on this. Now I know a lot of people be saying I can't wait to hear what Nate speak on this, but y'all know Nate going to be covering this topic. But when Nate cover these topics, sometimes he can't, on a good day getting 50, 60 people in there. I know we just started a new channel, but y'all be saying, I gotta hear Nate on this one. You can hear him on his own channel. So make sure you go sub to Nate and support Nate right there. Same with Hood Servative. Everybody's saying, I gotta hear what Hood Servative got to say on this. Gotta hear what Nate got to say on this. Make sure y'all supporting their channels. Make sure that y'all going over there, checking their channels out. Shout out to Logan JJ, Uneducated Lame, Mike and Vince Perkins in the building, Long Tong Song in the building, Woke Quill in the building. He says, peace, everyone. I see Hood and Big Nate are ready to go. See, everybody want to hear them on this. Make sure y'all check them out when they go on their channels with it. I think that's pretty much everybody says you can't get his booty if you don't vote Democrat. Yeah, those are real lyrics. Those are real lyrics. let's not play around with that. Those are actually legitimately real lyrics. Real lyrics. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. If you ain't voting, you ain't getting this booty. Like those are real lyrics. I am not making that up. I'm gonna play the whole video. I'm gonna play the whole video. Shout out to Little Big Nate again. I'm gonna play the whole thing from beginning to end with no commentary because I just want to let it play out. I want y'all to just fully breathe it in. Then we're going to go back and line by line hit many aspects of it because this is like kind of goddamn disturbing. But Malcolm in the Middle 87 in the building, he says, when you think the Dems can't go any lower. No, I already said they dug all the way to the bottom and the shovel they were digging with hit the bottom. And then they went and got the drills from Armageddon that they used to drill to the center of the asteroid and started drilling. They hit the bottom, then they started drilling. That's what happened. That's what happened. But shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. We about to get this thing going. I normally put water in here, but today I had to fill this up with coffee today. Shout out to the Clue channel. It's your duty. Vote for this booty. In this case, it's your duty. Vote for his booty. Because it was man butt on the table this time. Get your booty to the poll. It was just woman ass on the table as the the bargaining chip to get black men out to vote. Right now they put man butt on the table for you. So I said they broke out the big guns. It's like, oh, this is going to get black men out to vote. It really is. This is what's going to do it. But all right, let me go ahead and Bene said, I don't even want to say it because you know that's I think those are the magic words that get them coming for your channel, little big Nate. So I don't even want to say it, but I'll put it up there on the screen. I'll put it up there on the screen. I will say hashtag little big Nate was right. But all right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into this. Where we at? Where we at? Oh my goodness, this is bad. This is all bad. All bad. But let's see. Let's see. All right. There it is. There it is. There it is. The political ad to rule them all. Get Your Booty to the Poll was an instant classic. They definitely outdid themselves with Get Your Booty to the Poll. They definitely outdid themselves. They I thought they we said they hit the bottom, but right, depending on how you look at it, all a matter of perspective. They either hit the rock bottom or they hit their highest peak with Get Your Booty to the Poll. But then they even went further. Me and Lil Big Nate and Hood Server, we were just talking about an ad that was one of the worst political ads ever when they had black men, or they had black women talk about voting and getting it done and blah, blah, blah. Then it was like, your turn, fellas. And the guys was like, yeah, we gotta get behind our sisters. We gotta help them. We gotta give up. Let's not give up our power. Let's make sure we vote for feminist ideals. But you know, yeah, they hit the bottom. All right. When I said let that sink in earlier, I was like, hold on, wait. It's too many things you could say that can be taken the wrong way in this show. So you got to be careful. Shout out to SKC in the building. He says the day is coming when BR will say, "Let it burn." There's in the words of the architect from the Matrix when he said when Neo was like, you can't destroy us, you can't live without us, you can't survive without us. He said there are levels of survival we are willing to accept. there are levels of burning I am willing to accept. I'm definitely going that far. There are levels of burning that I am willing to accept. Because goddamn. But shout out to SKC. Shout out to SKC. Shout out to everybody in the building. Don't got any men down there, so I gotta try to keep track of. Okay, I'm rambling. Let me play the video. All right, about to play the full video uninterrupted. About to put it on the Jumbotron. I'm gonna play it all the way through. Then we're gonna get my reaction to it plus other commentary and points. If you haven't seen this, I apologize. Strap on in, but yeah, here we go.
Trey Tracks, I think we got one.
It's voting season, bruh.
No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no fucking. BLK app looking for some action. Why the homie Scott was heavy. Face is a 9, abs a 10, D is a to be determined. He got mad jokes, he don't seem broke. The only red flag, he said he don't vote. This midterms for all the single cuties. Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty. No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no fucking. No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking.
Yeah, don't stop now. Stop my ballot box again, but my homegirl through. Put the buy in partisan. Politics be so nasty. Make me wanna flirt ya. Show you how to be a poll worker. Legs in the air, I don't care. Anyone could get it. Universal health care. If you wanna come before the deadline. Come in the jacuzzi, gerrymander this coochie.
No voting, no love, no voting, no touch, no voting, no nothing. Can't let me down, gotta stand up for something. No voting, no love, no voting, no touch, no voting, no nothing. BLK, we gon' stand up for something. Yeah, that's right. No voting, no loving. If the coochie is the goal, go ahead and pose. Period.
Yeah, that happened. They actually did that. Somebody came up with the idea in some political strategy room. They came up with the idea. They wrote out the concepts. They had somebody write the lyrics. They had somebody produce the beat. The beat kind of went hard. I'll give them that. They had somebody produce the beat. After they had somebody produce the beat, they had somebody come lay the track. So they had it recorded. Then they shot the video. They hired a director to direct the video, got camera crew to shoot the video. And then they had somebody edit the video. They went through all those steps. Went through all of those steps. After somebody edit the video, and then after that final editing was done, they sent the final product to probably the original team of people who had the original idea and the people that's backing them with the money. And through all of that process, through all of those hands that touched it, through all of those eyes that saw it, not one person stepped in and said, "Hold up, y'all. Wait, we probably shouldn't do this. We probably fucking up here. We're probably going to make less people vote for the Democratic Party." Because make no mistakes, this is Democrat. Whenever they do anything, rock the vote, vote or die, vote, booty to the poll, vote, nigga, just vote. Those are Democrats targeting black people, trying to even look damn near nonpartisan, but we know we know what it is. That's basically saying black people go vote Democrat. This is Democratic money. One question I'm going to ask as you look at the face of this Negro right here, the people who say voting Republican, you're voting with the racist. Voting Republican, you're voting with racist. What do you think Democrats actually think about you? If that's the only argument, I mean, if that okay, I mean, if that's the featured argument, Republicans are racist. What do you think the Democrats who put money behind this, who thought of this, who put this out there, what do you think that they think about you? Now, if there's reasons to not vote Republican and this or that, we could have that debate. We could have that debate about the odds and ends and reasons. But if the only core central argument is that they racist, that argument is done. That argument is done. And I see y'all saying bussy face and all of this. Is the fucked up part of this is that when you look at him and he got that, he laying his head on a pillow, he just fell back into a bed. So he said, it says, "I vucked today," meaning he voted for some pussy. That's what vucking mean. Or voted for some. This is the fucked up part. You don't know if he vucked. You don't know if he voted to get some pussy or to get some ass. And by ass, I mean man ass. You don't know which one. That's the fucked up part. That's a different spin on it. He didn't vuck. He got vucked. He was on the receiving end. He wasn't pitching. He was catching. Okay, yeah, very very possibly. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. You don't know if he vucked for some bussy or some pussy. You don't know which one. Conservative has a good theory. Conservative has a good theory. Man. Thank you, Rod of God. He says, y'all too busy laughing. Y'all need to hit the like button. Definitely hit the like button on the way in. Definitely hit the like button on the way in. Wide receiver, man. Cut it out. Cut it out. Oh, I just thought about something. When he first fell down, he didn't have that pen or sticker or whatever wasn't on his forehead. Someone put it there. We're about to see if it's a man hand or a woman hand that put it on his head.
Period.
Okay. All right.
Period.
Now, nowadays, you still don't know. I want to say that looks like a woman's hand. That motherfucker pretty big though. That could still be a man's hand. So we don't know. My knee jerk reaction was that is a woman's hand. But in this day and age, you don't know. You don't know if he vucked for some pussy or some pussy. We don't know. It is no way of knowing. But all right. There it is. That's the deal. That's the video. Well, let me make sure I play it all the way to the end. It's actually 7 more seconds. Let's hold on. All right. All right. weall.vote/black. Black is the dating app. Black is the dating app. Black is the, BLK Black. That is essentially Black Tinder. That is the Black version of Tinder. That's what that is. So the dating app Black is actually behind this. The dating app Black is working in cahoots with the Democratic Party to try to get more Black people out to vote. That is what's going on. And when they attempted to do that, because Azrael, give me a second, bro. I'm gonna get to it. Here's the deal. They're targeting Black men. That much can't be denied. They're targeting Black men. Now, either it's the possibility that they think that sexual fluency is a thing to the point to where, you could target Black men by having a gay Black man. Like that's the part that I'm wrestling with. Because they got Black women. They know they got Black women. They know they're losing aspects of the Black male Democratic vote. They know that they're losing that. They knew that they were losing it with get your booty to the poll. That's why they did that. That's why they went to those great lengths. They're going to these same great lengths right now. Because they're trying to figure out what can they do. So they appealing to the base, most reptilian part of the brain nature of Black men. We're going to put pussy on the table for your vote. That's what they're essentially doing. But then I have to wonder, did they read some polls and find out that gay men don't vote either? So they was like, we got to get gay Black men and straight Black men, or in their mind did they just think that it didn't matter, that a gay dude talking about that shit is going to get Black men to come to the polls all the same? Like, is that seriously what? Like that's the part that I'm mind blown about right now. No, keep it 100. Don't do it, man. Go and get out there. Write in Patrice O'Neal, or find something local. That you want to that matters to you. That's on the ballot. Just show up. Cast a vote. I always say cast a vote. Cast a vote. Write in Patrice O'Neal. But this is messed up. This is all kinds of messed up. One thing I was thinking about when because I said that beat go hard. Y'all know it used to be people who, particularly women, would talk about how messed up talk about how messed up rap music is. These was good old days back when, Snoop and Dre saying calling them bitches and hoes was controversial. Back then, back in that time, they used to ask Black women, well, how do you listen to it? And then they're saying all these horrible things about women. And then the women would be like, hey, I don't really listen to the lyrics. I just listen to the beat. And you hear people say that now when it comes to rap music not making no sense. Oh, I don't really care. I just listen to the beat. I just rock out to the beat. You hear people say, I wonder if that holds up now. I wonder if that holds up now when you listen to a song like this. I wonder if that logic can hold up. I don't really listen to the lyrics. I just like the beat when you hear a dude say, do your civic duty if you want this booty. Like I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. Let me get to the super chats. We're gonna do a play-by-play breakdown of this thing, but god damn it. God damn it. He says the day is coming when BR will say let it burn. I said there are levels of burning I am willing to accept. Shout out to the architect from the Matrix. It's your duty. Vote for this booty. Shout out to the Clue Channel. Shout out to Malcolm in the Middle 87. He says when you think the Dems can get no lower. Shout out to Freeman, J. Freeman Black Man with the hard, heavy-handed $50 super chat. He says, I hate you. What did you just force? What did you just force us to watch? I'm sorry. I had to play it. Talking about it wouldn't do it justice. If I told y'all about this but didn't play it, y'all wouldn't believe me. Because I guarantee if I was watching Hood Servative and Hood Servative was describing this, I would not believe him. I would think Lil Big Nate was exaggerating. If Lil Big Nate did a stream and he was talking about this, I I don't be accusing them of lying. It just they'll talk about some stuff that it'd be so unbelievable. I'd be like, come on, man, you got show me. You got to prove it. This is one of those things that where if they was talking about this, I wouldn't think they were lying, but I wouldn't. I would. I'd have to see it. I would have to see it to believe it. They would have to play the tape. The tape can only be played to explain this, to describe this. Azra the Daywalker in the building says, I am Planned Parenthood and I approve this message. Wow. Shout out to Azrael the Daywalker in the building. D-Rock Dan in the building. He says, here's what they think about you, the Democratic Party. Yes. That's why I said if somebody's aversion to voting Republican, if the only reason is that they are racist, what do you think the Democrats think about you after this? Dini in the building says BR did some research and some brains behind the ad is called Majority Agency, which was founded by Shaq. I know the talking point Dems bad. I know the talking point Dems bad. I don't know what you mean by there. I know the talking point Democrats bad. He said, BR, I did some research and the brains behind this ad is called the Majority Agency, which was founded by Shaq. I know the talking points Dems bad. So, I mean, are you trying to make the point that it's all black people at every level of this? If so, then that's even worse. I mean, black Democrats are friggin' terrible and think low of black people and appeal to the base nature and have the soft bigotry of low expectations. So if you're saying that no white people touch this, then I have no problem with snatching the mask off the right Scooby-Doo villain in the situation. If Shaq is the person behind the mask, if that's who under the mask when we snatch the mask off the Scooby-Doo villain, if it's Shaquille O'Neal, then so be it. That's equally messed up. But there I said it in the building. He says, I think Dems realize straight black men demands are too much, adjusting family court, etc. They are clearly targeting gay and bi black men. Yeah, and the black men who are foolish enough to just be on some, I don't even know how a straight black man could even listen to this and be remotely slightly moved by it. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know how that's possible. Trey said it's small hats behind it, man. He says, where are all the Democrats niggas usually in the chat talking crap about me? You niggas are trash, voting with the Luciferians. Yeah. All right. All right, let's do a we already saw it. We're gonna run through it again with a play-by-play.
Trey Tracks, I think we got one. It's voting season, bruh.
No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. BLK app looking for some action.
Okay. Right now, at this point of it, at this point in the video, I was sitting there thinking that this ain't got that much to do with us. Because I was seriously thinking gay black men. That's what they're targeting. Which I thought was weird because I'm pretty sure like that's not a huge demographic, and I'm pretty sure you already got them. Gay black men ain't going nowhere. It's like maybe like two gay black male Republicans on Earth. It's like so I was like they already got it. They already got that covered. You know. So at this point, that's what I was thinking.
Scott was heavy. Face is a 9, abs a 10, D is a to be determined. He got mad jokes, he don't seem broke. The only red flag, he said he don't vote. This midterms for all the single cute. Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty. No voting.
Somebody wrote that line. Somebody wrote that line, wrote it, recorded it in the studio, and like that. How does that get okayed? Who are the people that gotta do your civic duty if you want to get this booty? Like, look at this shit, the damn raptor claw nails and all that. Like, what the fuck? You got a decent theory if you think fucking Trina wrote the whole thing. Yes, Officer Faulkner, this is an actual video. This is an actual political ad. Denny is saying blame Shaq. No, Shaq didn't write it. He said Shaq didn't write it, but Deanie did unearth some stuff. Send it to me, email it to me. Deanie did unearth some stuff that basically implies or that suggests that Shaq is behind this ad. That Shaq, somebody who I hold in high regard as the best center to ever play basketball. Yeah, I know there's some, Will Chamberlain broke records back in the 60s, and Bill Russell racked up a lot of championships, and Kareem got records that will stand, but I still ain't taking either one of them in a prime against Shaq. Shaq didn't accomplish as much as them, but I just think he better than them. Mike Tyson didn't have a better career than a few other heavyweights, but I think Tyson in his prime would still beat their ass. That's how I feel about Shaq. All right, anyway, back to it. But shame on you, Shaq. Shame on you, Shaq, for having something to do with this. But all right.
He got mad jokes. He don't seem broke. The only red flag, he said he don't vote. This midterms for all the single cute. Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty. No vote.
Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty. Want to hit this booty, got to do your civic duty. That is in a political ad. If you don't vote, you can't get none of this man ass. That's what they're literally saying in a political campaign ad to target black men. They are literally saying you ain't getting this pussy if you don't vote. Oh, I do plan on reading the comments in the video. I do plan on reading the comments in the video. Now, SKC is bringing something noteworthy to the table. I have to click on that. I'll have to click on that. It says Black launches an app election center to empower users to vote. They're trying to empower their users to vote. So it sounds like they just generally just wanted to try to empower Black people to vote. So like that's another interesting take on it. What if this isn't just strictly a just we're trying to target the Black male vote? No, they just targeting Black people, and this is just how they view Black people. What if that's the case? What if that is the case? Because that is a possibility as well here. Now, I do want to point something out. Doing as y'all look at this Negro here, as y'all look at this person here, they call all kind of they throw the term coon around, but I mean, shit. All right. Anyway, y'all remember that like this went viral. I didn't cover it. I didn't talk about it because I try to avoid things. This dude, his name is as you see right there, Saucy Santana. For a while, I thought it was Sassy Santana. Either one of them fits. But I remember when he was making a statement, like Black women kind of turned on him for like 17 minutes because he had said something like, "Yeah, I got to come to gay men to learn how to be women. When y'all want y'all hair done, y'all come to us. When y'all want y'all makeup done, y'all come to us." When y'all basically he was like trying to stun on them, like we the one who teach you bitches how to be bitches, like that happened. Like that happened, and now here is their representative rolling out to embolden the vote to get to try to rock the vote. Remember when I'm even trying to say remember because this is very, very recent history. Very, very recent history when fucking goddamn the damn Hope Gazelle dude was on Fox Soul. Fox Soul is rolled Hope Gazelle out as a representative. Look what they get to represent Black women. Look what they get to represent Black women. Like that is wild. That is crazy. That is crazy. Little Big Nate says, Bernard Riley, the people that did this are the same leftist filth that did vax that thing up. Little Big Nate has all the info on this. Subscribe to Little Big Nate Show. Absolutely subscribe to the Little Big Nate Show. But it is a weird thing that's going on. It's not even shouldn't even be weird at this point. It's just ridiculous that that's what they get. That's what they roll out there. That's what they put out there. They put that out there as the representative. As the representative.
Now voting, no loving. Now voting, no touching. Now voting, no nothing. Now voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. Now voting, no loving. Now voting, no touching. Now voting, no nothing. Now voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking.
Yeah, don't stop now. Stop my ballot box again, but my homegirl through. Put the buying partisan. Politics be so nasty. Make me wanna flirt ya. Show you how to be a poll worker. Legs in the air, I don't care. Anyone could get it. Universal health.
I'm sitting there looking at. They got Trina doing this. I wonder how many rappers said no. They went down. They probably started with Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj. They just worked their way down to Trina old ass, and she said, "Yeah, I do it. How much? $10,000. I'll do it. I ain't making no money nowadays." I bet it went something like that.
Healthcare. If you wanna come before the deadline, come in the jacuzzi, gerrymander this coochie.
She said, "Gerrymander this geriatric coochie." Those are lyrics. Those are lyrics in a political ad. Yeah, Bill Stryker, she need the damn money. That's what I'm getting at. They couldn't afford relevant. They couldn't afford relevant rappers. They couldn't afford relevant rappers. They got her on a discount. And she talking about gerrymander this geriatric pussy. Shout out to Theo in the building. I hit you an email this morning, Theo. He says, Little Big Nate Show 2. Okay, make sure you have a tank of O2 around because your wind will be beyond your control. Oh, yeah, Little Big Nate is going to hyperventilate. He's going to blow a gasket. He's going to overheat. I'm man. I make sure you're there in attendance. Make sure you're there in attendance when Little Big Nate goes in on this. But there, I said it in the building. Says I think the Dems realize straight black men demands are too much. I already read that one. Yeah, because on this side, a real conversation is being had. A real conversation is being had. Over there, they're just doing the tactics of, get your booty to the pole, vax that thing up, appealing to the base level nature. And there are political ads that they've made for white people where it's a little bit of rapping, like SKC played one of them, where it was an old chick. She was rapping about, traditional families and shit, lower taxes, stuff like that. You see stuff like that going on. You don't see this. You don't see them trying to connect voting with busting a nut in geriatric pussy or man pussy. You don't see that. You don't see that over there. But you see that over here. You see that over here. I mean, you see that over there on when they advertising the black people. James Wingate in the building says, "I'm done with this community. I just said, and I'm just sad as hell." Bruh man in the building says, "Who thought this shit was a good idea?" That's what I've been trying to figure out. I've been going through the whole little process of just thinking about how many people had to touch this. How many people had to touch this before it got greenlit 100%? James Wingate in the building says, if Shaq is behind this, Barkley will kill him on TV. That's a good point. Barkley don't let Shaq slide on nothing. So yes, Barkley should let him have it for this. It's because Barkley is like pretty much damn near a Republican. It's almost like they want black men to vote Republican. Yes, they are. They are handing you your hat. They are literally handing you your hat, and you don't realize it. Thank you, Dark Relief and James Wingate. They are handing you your hat. They are. Therese O'Neill, not Patrice O'Neill. Therese O'Neill says, "Thank you for the daily content. Thank you for your super chat. Do appreciate it." Nigerian Flex in the building says, "Morning, fellas. Been a minute since I've been able to tune in. Love to see the channel growing." Absolutely. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Channel is growing. I'm working on it. Ride of God podcast in the building says, "It's official. We've lived long enough to see the movie Idiocracy come to pass. Hashtag movie prophecy." Yes. The prophecy was true. Idiocracy called it. Idiocracy flat out called it. Society is going to get to the point where smart people are going to make calculated decisions about when to have kids, how many kids to have, whether or not they could afford these kids. But poor people just going to be fucking like rabbits and making kids like crazy. And then the overall larger part of the population is going to be reckless, out of control people who makes no calculated decisions. And I don't even want to bring IQ and all of that into this, but damn it, you know what it is that's going to be the case. Like Idiocracy was right. Two dumb people who, in years past barely would have been able to survive. Two dumb people in years past that they can get together and they can have 10 kids. They can get together and have 10 kids. Two highly intelligent people are going to have their two. One boy, one girl, we done. That's That's how it goes. That's how it goes. But not, but now, I mean, it's to the point where I forgot who it was. Somebody, I don't know if it was Elon Musk or it was somebody real smart who basically said not quite some Nick Cannon type stuff, but he said he's going to have a lot of kids because he said smart people do need to do their civic duty and offspring, produce more offspring. I forgot who it was who said that. I think it may have been Elon Musk. SKC in the building says every time someone brings up the other groups do it too. The argument I'm bringing this up, Black America has a special affinity for dysfunction. Yeah, I'm going to show y'all like the type of stuff that other groups do. I'll show y'all because they do some stupid stuff, but it's not this. They do some stupid stuff, but it's not this. I'll show y'all. I'll show y'all how and where I'll show you how and why and where they get weird. They do stuff like this here. Let me pull this over. I'll show you the goofy stuff you see white people doing. Hold up. Let's briefly stop the screen share let's briefly stop the screen share and pull up another one. You see goofy shit like this. And this is goofy, but it's not pandering to move that hit the like button thing out the way. Get that out of the way. You see stuff like this, and I don't even know how well y'all could see this because sometimes, Instagram be on some bull. This is who is this? Let me make sure I get it right. This is candidate for Texas governor, Beto O'Rourke. Forgive me for botching his name. I'm horrible with names. Hits the swag surf with the students at the University of North Texas. Now, this is goofy, and this is cringy, but it is, this is a older white, relatively young for a politician trying to appeal to college students, trying to look cool for college students. It's video of Hillary Clinton trying to do the nay. It's like little goofy stuff like that. You find goofy stuff like that. You don't see ridiculous, I'm going to appeal to your basic, most primal nature of fucking. You want to fuck and bust nuts, don't you? We're going to put pussy on the table with the vote to try to get you niggas to vote. We're convinced that fried chicken and collard greens won't work. We're going to offer you niggas pussy. It's like, but that's the shit that's the type of goofy stuff you see, but you don't just see all on just full gangster with it. You don't just see full gangster, do your civic duty, come gerrymander this geriatric pussy, or do your civic duty if you want to get this man booty. You're not gonna see that. Like, that's the difference. So SKC, you're right on the the all groups do it type of thing. You're right on that. There's a unique kind of foolishness and fuckery that's going on, and it's very unique. Now it's some debate on whether or not whether or not it's just all black people behind this. Roland Martin says all the time that most democratic, he's basically saying it's rich white liberals who pull the purse strings in the Democratic Party of that's what Roland Martin says all the time. Now if it was all black people behind us, then I think that's even worse, because that says how low we think of ourselves. But if it was white Democrats behind it, that says how low they think of us. Either way, it is absolutely 100% bad. Either way, it's absolutely 100% bad. There's no silver lining around it. There's no way to make this okay. There's no way to not be insulted when you look at this shit. There's no way to, like, bare minimum. I'm not saying go vote Republican. I'm literally saying that from a political standpoint, the things that they will do to try to pander to you is like, I'm not with the stay home and don't vote shit, but I understand people just pulling completely out of the political process. I say go vote, go cast a vote, be counted. But damn, nothing says more that they don't give a fuck about you than this shit right here.
No love, no voting, no touch, no voting, no nothing. Can't let me down, gotta stand up for something. No voting, no love, no voting, no touch, no voting, no nothing. BLK, we gon' stand up for something. Yeah, that's right. No voting, no love. If the coochie is the goal, go hit the polls. Period.
The coochie is the goal. Go hit the polls. Period. I can't stop looking at this dude. I just can't stop looking at that. Like that. that's what they think about you. That's what they think about you. But yeah. Now, the comment sections wasn't all bad. There are some people who was absolutely with it, though. Gerrymander this coochie rolling on the floor. Go vote, y'all heard them. Okay, see, it's people who with it. Want to hit this booty, gonna do your civic duty. I'm dead. See, some people just thinking it's funny. It is funny. It is funny. Somebody says, congratulations, the real queen of the South. She gave birth to Nicki Minaj. She gave birth to Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion. She gave birth to the City Girls. She has given birth to so many women and young girls in hip hop. She is a legend. She is a legacy. Okay, the comments are bad. I saw this right when it dropped, and the first few comments was critical. Now it seems like it's a bunch of new comments that I think the comments are less critical, because she's looking at this as she's congratulating Trina for this shit. This is not a congratulatory situation for Trina. This is my career is over. I got paid $10,000 to say, do your civic duty, gerrymander this coochie. That means it's over. That means it's over. Trina, you better keep this top. What? This literally just made me holy shit. Okay, they got to be paying these people in the comments. This literally just made me excited to vote. Period. Can't fall into the bed if he ain't standing at the polls. That's one thing I always love about. Holy shit. This is they treating this like it's her fucking Hall of Fame speech. Like, what the hell? That's one thing I always loved about Trina, how humble and real she is. She's gonna always work hard for it, no matter how she feels, how she's feeling, all about getting her bag and living her life. Every time she manifests something, it always gets done in a positive way. Trina, okay. These got to be fake accounts. These got to be fake accounts. These have got to be fake accounts. Living her life, every time she manifests something, it always gets done in a positive way. They're calling this positive. Going to be singing this all the way to the oh my goodness. Wow. Somebody says Trina ate that. Aha. Lee, the first man who commented in here, at least I think the first man, I mean by the name Lee, he got a bunch of coons in here, basically calling them some coons. Let me hit the like button on that one. I'm voting just for I'm voting just for whoever for reparations. Shout out to this man here, Lee Nesbitt. Just dropped some coons and kept it moving. Trina will always eat. Okay. This is the same person again. Says, I wish I was old enough to vote. I'm holy shit. Okay, these are fucking kids. This person says, I wish I was old enough to vote. I'm only 13, but who cares? Trina will always be my favorite rapper. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That's horrible. Freaking horrible. They be worried. Keep in mind, they be worried about teenagers hearing the words of Andrew Tate. Keep that in mind. They be legit worried about teenage boys hearing the hurtful, hateful words of Andrew Tate. This 13-year-old girl said Trina will always be my favorite rapper after this shit. Keep that in mind. Let that sink in. Trina Slid enjoyed this. Somebody else just says, I'm voting. I'm here for it. I'm here for it is a positive message. We do need to go out and vote. This delivery isn't going to be for everybody, but I'm here for the energy. Cut them off if they ain't voting. Again, it would be stupid. It would be stupid and it would be ridiculous and it would be insulting if they just had women on there rapping, trying to embolden women, because statistically, yeah, black women vote more than black men. Not by as wide of a margin as you think. I used to have the data on hand. I don't got it right now, but as far as people who vote, I think white women vote the most, then white men, then black women are next, then black men, then Hispanic and Latino women are next, then Hispanic men, then Asian women and Asian men. It plays out just like that. So as far as who votes and when and why and blah blah blah, it falls like kind of right where you would expect, where you would predict. They try to say black people don't vote. We actually I think only white people vote more than black people. You know, Asians and Hispanics don't be voting. Asians really don't give a fuck. They barely vote at all. They just get their money. But I understand the logic in saying we need to get more black men out there to vote. So let's try to embolden women to withhold pussy for men that don't vote. I understand their logic right there. But then why did they bring their gay friend into this? Like, I mean, that's the part that's fucking me up. Trying to figure out what the hell do their gay friend got to do with any of this. That's the part that's bothering me. But anyway, somebody just said this is some creative ass shit. They must be deleting the negative comments. Thank you, Trina and Santana. And hold on, how many views this got? This only got 10,000 views because it just got up. So it only got 10,000 views. So it's not like it's been up for a while and there's hundreds of thousands of comments. Because out of hundreds of thousands of comments, if you delete the bad ones, yeah, you had thousands of good comments. This is most people being good with this. Peg Toodles, what the fuck? Somebody named Peg Toodles says I'm voting. What the hell? Somebody says, I'm not sure about this. Thank you, Leo. Okay. Leo Pride says, I'm not sure about this. I'm a huge Trina fan. Just wish she was more lyrical. Okay, so that's your problem. She ain't lyrical enough. You wasn't, do your civic duty, gerrymander this coochie or whatever she said. That wasn't, the bars wasn't quite hitting right. That's his only issue. That's his only issue. She wasn't technical enough with the delivery. Somebody said this is some creative ass shit. Thank you, Trina and Santana, for the message. Go vote, hoes. They a key for this song. I'm voting for sure now because of Santana. Wow. Okay, this is some shirtless nigga. It says the ending is pretty funny. Good beat, but kind of cringe. Okay. All right. Right on. She says, got the message. Thanks, Black. Okay, I think they deleting the negative videos. I mean, the negative comments. They are deleting the negative comments because last night I caught this fresh off the presses. It was a lot of negative comments. It was a lot of negative comments when I caught this fresh off the presses last night. They deleting the hell out of the negative comments. Goddamn. Because somebody came in the comments and was like, Republicans for reparations sounds real good right now. like if some Republicans came through and did some Republicans for reparations political strategy posturing of some sort, yeah, that would definitely get the job done for a lot of black people right now, because I know they just turned off a lot of people with this shit. I know they turned off a lot of people with this shit. But they only keeping up the good comments. So we can't even see how people really reacting to it. Can't even see how people really reacting to it. But the Clue channel in the building. The link is in the chat. Anybody want to come up and get a piece of this? We 1 hour in. You come up and have your say and have your thoughts on this farce of a political ad, the worst political ad ever that actually did top. It actually did top. I'm shocked. I am shocked that it actually topped Get Your Booty to the Poll as the worst political ad ever. It did. It did. But the Clue channel in the building says, what if Trump paid for this ad? I wouldn't. Then he's a brilliant man. He's a brilliant man. You're gonna get people. If he want to convince black people to leave the Democratic Party or not vote Democrat, then I think he made a good boss move, power play. Nigerian Flex in the building says, seriously, what the F is this music video? Seriously, what the F is this music video? You got a gay trans manual talking about having sex and an outdated Trina pretending to still be attractive enough to withhold her box for men's votes. Fuck out of here. Here, and well said. Big Kev in the building says it's pure menstrually. I think you're trying to say like a minstrel show. I think that's what you're trying to say. Nothing more. It's pure minstrel. I don't know if that's a word. Deanie in the building says this ad is funded and created by ATL Black's Shack. He's putting it all on black people. That does not help. That does not help. Black Democrats are using the same tactics. That does not oh, it's okay because black people did. No, it's still fucked up. It's still fucked up. Can't use what them did to us argument here, BR. Dude, who you running interference for right now? White liberals or the gay dude popping his pussy to get you to vote? Who you running interference for? Like, I mean, this is democratic politics, whether it's white or black. Either way, it's democratic politics appealing to the lowest, most primal base nature of black people, the low, soft bigotry of low expectations in full work. We're doing it to each other. They've done that to try to get black people to vote because that's what they think of us, and that's apparently what we think of us as well. The point is, those that don't think that of themselves need to realize that and separate, regardless of who's the person behind the mask, regardless of who's the Scooby Doo villain when we unmask who did this. It doesn't matter. The point is to walk away. Freeman's Journal in the building says this is a class issue. Wearing a political skirt. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. That's interesting what you said right there. James Wingate in the building says, I asked my gay friend about this commercial. He said it geared towards the gay community, but he said it does also at straight people. I hear there are other commercials like this been out or will come out. There's an element of this where, yeah, it is geared towards there's an element of this where, yes, it is geared towards gay people, but again, gay people are such a small demographic, so I tend to believe it's more geared towards black people. They already got black women, so just want to excite the base. Yeah, that's a thing, but a part of me did want to think that they just said, oh, the hell with black men, we're just going to try to get gay black men and going to excite the base of black women to make sure even more of them come out. But any advertisement that is basically talking about withholding sex, any political ad that's talking about withholding sex in order to get somebody to vote, that is targeting men. No questions asked. Remember, who was that? Stacey Abrams or somebody, Stacey Abrams and Brittany Cooper. One of them talked about a damn sex strike. I think that was Brittany Cooper. Talked about a sex strike for black men who don't vote Democrat. Anything politically talking about withholding pussy is to target straight men. It just is what it is. So this was targeted towards straight men. You can't get around that. But it's everybody lumped in there. Excite the base, appeal to the LGBTQRS, and threaten black men to withhold pussy and bussy to get them to come out and vote. A story to tell in the building says, this doesn't make me want to vote or vuck. Right. Dane C in the building says, BR salute, man. I can't believe this continued madness is trying to use sex as their strategy to get black man to vote. Sure, Black got money for this ad. Yeah. That's Black the dating app. I wonder how straight men who use that app feel about the app right now. I really do. I legit wonder how they feel about it. So, the link is in the chat room for those who want to come up. We've just been joined by Hood Conservative is in the building. What is going on, Mr.? All right, will you be doing your civic duty to get to that booty? Will you?
Nah, Vucking isn't really for me. I think what's so funny, what they just dropped the new word for gay sex. So like, if all the dudes that are into Vucking, go vote Democrat. Like, and bro, there's so many things. I was trying to get your attention this morning because I saw this yesterday, and I was like, I hope you didn't see this one. I hope I can hold this for Saturday because, bruh, I feel vindicated. I feel so vindicated because, like, there are some people who are like, and I get it, but there are people who would probably be like, why are you always looking at what the gays are doing? Why are you so focused on the gay side of the black community? And I'm like, listen, you don't see it, but I see enemies at the gate. And so when stuff like this comes out, it's becoming more obvious. Listen, they would rather you be gay than be a black conservative. They would rather you be gay than vote Republican. They would rather you be gay than for you to actually disagree with them. If you're going to disagree with what the Democrats got going on, you know what? We rather deal with the gay guys. Like that's how bad it's getting. And so, you know, I feel so vindicated when they come out like this with their real thoughts and their pure agenda. This is so, oh my God, this is like this is like everything, and this is a troll's dream right here. This really is like a troll's dream come true. You know, so many things are in this right here. So many things are in this video. All right, so you know they also just made they low key they're trying to make straight relationships gay. Like by bringing this dude Santana. Like, yo, when I first saw the name Santana in the title, the first thought in my mind was like, Joel Santana doing a vote ad? Like, what the hell? And so this fat gay dude comes on the screen. I was like, oh Lord, we are over. And so by introducing just the symbolism and the proximity of it all, right? By introducing this gay dude to basically a heterosexual sex strike, you're low key making straight relationships gay. Like the common relationship in Black America is gay now. Thank you, Black. Thank you for doing that. You have mixed in gay with your typical heterosexual Black relationship. That's where we are now. It's not me, it's them. I am just here to kind of, you know, do the weather forecast for the guys who can't see the storm coming. But this is
Yeah.
what's going on right now. They are making Black relationships gay. No matter how you slice it, if you're getting involved in Black love, you're some kind of gay.
That's what I was sort of trying to tease out that idea of, wait a minute, okay, any type of ad that's targeting that's basically withholding sex in exchange for you doing something, that's targeting straight men. But the most featured prominent person in the video is a gay dude. So I was trying to tease out, like, do they think that I guess what, like, Black men are on some spectrum of fluency when it comes to all of this? You know, I'm like, what, like they got to know that there's a line where there's men over here who want this, and then there's a line, and then there's men over there that want this. I think they just said, no, we're gonna get rid of that line, and it's all one thing, pussy bussy, you know, pick your whatever your flavor of the day is. It's like, I was trying not to say like that, but I guess I already know where you're going. But that's what you think they was more or less trying to do. Yes or no?
Listen, Bernard, if you like pussy, you like pussy, you're Black.
Say that again.
I said, if you're a Black man who likes pussy, then of course you like pussy too. That's a part of being a Black man, right? If you gotta have the pussy, you. That's really what I don't know.
Hey, you Borgin. I can tell you driving. You just rode. Hold on. You just rode out of range. But we are joined by Deanie. I'm come back to you, Hood Servitor. But we got Deanie in the building. Welcome aboard. You was hold on, wait, Hood Servitive. Hold on. You're Borgin bad. Let me I'm trying to mute. There you go. I finally was able to mute you. All right, so just hang on for a second. Let's, you know, hopefully you drive to a more clear area. Well, we got Deanie, who had, you know, a little something to say in the chat room. I took a jab at you, said you was running interference for the bussy popper, but but no, in all seriousness though, when you were bringing some necessary information into the discussion, talking about who's actually behind this. So go ahead and speak on that, or whatever prompted you to come on up.
Yeah, I actually wanted to hear what Hood Conservative was going to say, but so if he comes back, I'll drop down. But I always like to follow the money when this stuff comes up. It was a little bit more difficult with the get your booties to the polls. I didn't really see like the funding behind it, but this Black app, they're like I guess a dating app. But the ad was actually done by a media company ad. And that media company is by the name of Majority Agency. And when you go and look up Majority Agency, it's one of its founding partners is Shaquille O'Neal. And if you look on the website, all the faces that you see are Black faces. So, you know, like I understand that there is a large history and a tradition of white Democrats doing like funding negative things like your George Soros of the world and what have you. But as the conversation was going and seeing the stuff in the chat, I don't think you could say, oh, what them did to us, as in like what them white Democrats did to us, is really applicable here. I get your point that it's still democratic thinking either way, but you know, that's kind of my purview. Instead of just saying, oh, Democrats, it's important to follow the money. Like, why is Shaq funding something like that instead of a black male agenda? What's that about? That's the more interesting.
That is, yeah, and you know, right there, you kind of unearth an important point, and that what them did to us. I always say that whenever somebody's complaining about racism, which I try to steer black men away from doing that as much. I understand the history, and I understand it. However, I do think more of what we need to be doing is rolling up our sleeves within the framework of the system that we're a part of, for better or worse. That's what everybody else got to do, you know. But if you can get some political wins, I'm all good with the political wins. But to just complaining about racism,
Hey,
I would
how
want
come?
to steer us clear of that. So hold on, hood server. So when I say that what them did to us, that's what I'm talking about there. But I don't do the what them Democrats did to us, because there's sometimes with some conservatives will turn into, you know, they'll acknowledge, they'll deny white supremacy, then they'll acknowledge it as long as it's Democrats doing it. But so I try not to get into that. But at the end of the day, I will point out that this is, if the only argument is that is that the Republicans are racist. And then if you look at this, if it was funded, which you got some good evidence that it wasn't, but if it was funded, put out there and produced by white people, and then get your booty to the poll and all kind of other stuff that they do, you know, yeah, that sort of says that they think the same thing too. So it sort of disarms the argument that, well, Republicans are racist. Okay, well, look at the people that love you. They they're doing goofy shit too. So
Yeah,
so that's more of where I'm at with that. That's more of where
and
I'm at
the
with that.
reason why I'm picking on Shaq. Do you remember the stream you did a few months ago about Shaq? What he said about his
Biological dad.
No. It was
Oh
like,
no, his daughters. Yeah. When
yes,
he
like
said that.
would he help his sons or something? It's like, I mean, it's
No,
your
yeah, he
show.
basically said he's not gonna help his sons. He's basically everything that he built, he's gonna basically give it to his daughters. His sons have got to go out and build their own thing themselves. And I understand giving your son a kick in the pants to go out and accomplish something, but yeah, but your empire, you're passing it down to your daughters, and then you juxtapose that where Shaq is. He's going to put, you know, time, effort, energy, money into a political agenda, but it's not going to be a black male political agenda. It's going to be some weird liberal gay political bullshit that's insulting to men. It's like it really speaks to how a lot of the black men who have worked either by their intelligence, their raw talent, or whatever they did to make their money, they put themselves in a position of power. But look what they do with it when they get it. I talked about
Yes.
Drew Holiday, who's in the NBA, and he's donated millions of dollars. You know, he donated a large percentage of his salary, I think, every year to black businesses and black initiatives, startups, programs, foundations, or whatever the hell. If you go look at the ones that he donate that money to, the vast majority of them, like 80%, are black female organizations or
about?
black female businesses, you know. But he's married to a white woman, so I think he's trying to make up for it, you know, right there. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, it's black men who are in positions of power that got a spirit of doing something for their people, but they just want to give it all to black women. I mean, so there's that. But damn, hood server just fell off. So we'll get him. We'll get him back on here. But yeah, no, but did you want to say something else? No, you brought, I mean, you brought up the real good point that I didn't even think about, that, you know, if Shaq going to put money behind something, it's not a black male political agenda. It's this
Yeah.
shit. You want to speak more on that before I pass it to Kadash?
And I'm not necessarily making a plea that, oh, you should be spending on black men. I just think the psychology is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like, everything you laid out, like even with Drew Holiday, that's interesting too. But Friedman's Journal made a good point, and I kind of think so too. Now I'm thinking about this. This is really more of a class issue. Now that I'm thinking
I didn't really understand that point. So go ahead and break that down real quick. I got to step away for 10 seconds. I'll still be able to hear you, but break down that point. How is a class issue?
Well, I can't speak for Friedman's Journal, but when I read his super tweet, it kind of resonated with me because a lot of times when we're looking at certain things, it's like the lowest of black people that's got a highlight on it, and it's not necessarily representative of the whole. Like this is not really there's no I didn't see any real like representation of straight black men throughout that entire ad. That was really mostly alternative lifestyle type of people. So Oheen, I don't know if you're going to jump in here or.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, I'll pass. Go ahead and I'm back. Yeah, go ahead, Kadash Shaya in the building. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Hey, how you doing, brothers?
Doing good, doing good.
I just watched the actual video before I saw you was online. I'm like, what the hell is that, man? Like, and I read, I'm hearing that Shaq funded this. I'm like, I'm thinking like they know in hell he probably knew that the end result would have been like this, man. They probably might have made a pitch and he probably like okay and gave it to them, and then like like this is the end result. You know what I'm saying?
You're giving Shaq a lot of credit, man. I don't know.
Nah, man. Like I know Shaq, could be goofy sometimes, but I doubt even he would green lights. Oh man. then again, he might, man. He might have been able to do some shit like that.
We got Van Jones on the panel today.
Where you say Van Jones?
Van Jones at the top.
Oh shit! Hold on. We gotta.
Van Jones, how's it going, man?
Why'd
you cry after Donald Trump won?
That's messed up.
Grow up, dude. Yeah, Bernard, go ahead.
Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. I just wanted to catch patriarchy in full color. They was trying to tell me you was white. Okay, okay. Anyway, they was like, stop letting that white dude talk on your panel. I was like, nah, I think he mixed or something. But all right,
no, he's black.
yeah, no, blackish. No, just playing. But all right, all right. Who else we got in here? But Dr. Thunder in the building. Dr. Thunder in the building. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
What's happening, man?
What's going on? What's your thoughts on this?
Oh my goodness. How little do they think of us?
Yeah.
How little they think of us. This is terrible. It reconfirms so that it cannot be said that Democrats actually care about us, or they actually have high expectations for us, or that they actually celebrate our humanity, or so it reconfirms that we're just political pawns to them, and it reconfirms that the Democratic Party is full of a bunch of racists. If you think that the Republicans are the only racist ones, just look at these two campaigns: the Get Your Booty to the Poll and this whatever they're saying. It's totally ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I don't hold it past them to do this kind of stuff. I'm a third party guy. I think the last time I was on your live, I was at the annual Freedom Fest. And I was a presenter at that festival. It's a big libertarian thing, and there's all kinds of folks there, more into the whole free thought kind of thing. But if you're a straight, free-thinking black man, the Democratic Party has nothing for you.
Wait a minute. Hold on. But you're a libertarian. They're even worse. They believe everything is tolerable. They believe their theme is I want gay couples to protect their weed plants with AR-15s. They're even worse.
That's not true though.
Oh, that is true.
Well, first of all, it's not true, and secondly,
that is true.
I've not said. But yeah, first of all, it's not true. Secondly, I've not said that I'm a libertarian. I said I spoke at a libertarian conference. I'm a third party voter. I'm B1. Black first. Anything is better than the duopoly.
Okay, so let me ask a question. Since you are Freedom Fest, right? Freedom, all about the freedom guy. Do you think somebody should have the freedom to be a transformer?
Honestly, I'm most interested in protecting my kid from school systems and trying to indoctrinate them.
Yeah.
Protecting minors from child abuse via their parents. Buying into a lot of this propaganda and bending the knee to whatever whims that their kids have. And of course, the kids have all kinds of whims, and it's our responsibility to protect the kid from that, so that they're not saddled with the permanent consequence. Okay. So I'm for that. So I'm for protecting minors. I'm for protecting the unborn. I'm pro-life.
That wasn't the question.
But hold on, before we get all the way, hold on, wait, time out. Before we get all the way far upfield on that, because I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole. But you said, do you think they should have the freedom to be trans? Like that's
like
they should. I'll go ahead and play ball with you for a second on that. I think they should have the freedom to call themselves whatever the hell they want and present however they want to present. If some dude want to leave the house in a dress,
adults though.
Okay.
Exactly.
Adults,
No.
not children.
Yeah.
Adults.
Hold on. I just want to make sure I lay it out, because I ain't advocating for the shit, but I'm just saying.
You are by allowing it. You are. But
no, but you can't stop.
Wait a minute.
That's how we got here, because everybody.
Wait a minute. Whoa. All right, hold on.
They're not going to leave you alone.
In a free country.
Where's that?
Right here in America. This is
America. Like the only one left.
With people getting banned every day, with people having their bank account seized, with people having to take lemon juice shots in their arm, with them shutting you in your home and forcing you to wear your stop it with this ideology of America being as free as it is. It's not. It is.
Okay, so
you have to do that.
So hold on. I need to hear you. No.
Where have you lived the last 2 years?
I want to hear your solutions.
Oh my
your
God.
strategy.
Okay, well, hold on a
I
second.
want to hear your solutions and strategies.
Well, you can let me
first
talk.
of all,
wait,
no, you cut me off.
Wait a minute.
No, you cut me off.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You cut me off.
That
cut me off.
Hold on.
All right. So here's my thing. First of all, I didn't get on here to defend America. I can go at length with issues that I have with America. I also didn't get on here to defend libertarians, because I have not identified. I'm not a registered libertarian. I think a lot of their ideas are better than the typical ideas, but I'm not a registered libertarian. So and then third, since you have so much smoke,
since he got so much smoke,
I asked him a simple. He couldn't answer a yes or no question.
Okay.
He started with a yes or no question, and then you were answering it. Let me tell you what I know, right? We got here.
Go ahead.
We got to where we are right now because of, quote unquote, one group believed in freedom, and the other group believed in an opportunity to use that freedom to take it away from somebody else. So for me, libertarians have this ideology. Well, as long as they leave me and mine alone, they're not going to leave you and yours alone. Not that rainbow community. They're not. They are an aggressive cult that goes out and spreads their message, right? Those who go out and spread their message will be destroyed by those who will get destroyed by
Right.
those who
All
don't.
right. All right. No. All right. No. Let me.
Hold on. Let me just say this.
You can finish his
All right,
point.
bro.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right. Like I said, this idea that you're just gonna sit there, and I believe in their freedom. The people that you believe in should have that freedom. For example, the Transformers. They don't just sit there and say, I want to live in my own group. They go out and spread their message. In this idea, I believe it's wrong. So I think it should be illegal. And I think that they should be dedicated to a mental institution, plain and simple.
All right.
And that's a yes or no question.
All right. And I answered it with a yes or no. I said, yes, they should have the freedom to do it. Where I draw the line is when they do all the things that you just described and how they try to spread their shit and try to indoctrinate kids with it and try to inception everybody else with it. It's like they wanted their acceptance and their seat at the table. Then they got their little seat at the table and now they want to snatch the mic from everybody. That's where they're wrong. So it does need to be political pushback to all the political bullshit that they're doing. But just the simple freedom of a dude choosing to walk around in a dress, if he want to do that, he should have freedom to do that. But we should have, not be political pushovers when it comes to their political pushing. So I'm against their political pushing. I'm not against somebody having their own freedom to look like a weirdo. That's where I'm at with that. But let's keep it moving down the panel. We got Vernon Scott in the building. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
What's good, Bernard? I'm gonna keep it quick. I think Edward put it perfectly, man. This is a perfect example of if you don't believe in gynocentric type of ideas, this is the perfect example of it. This wasn't pushed towards us. And I gotta go back against what my man was saying when he said he felt that we weren't represented in there. We were just an object. We were that dude that they were looking at, that they wanted to touch, that they want to have sex with. So that's what we're just a sexual object. They proved that. And they're like, okay, basically what we're saying is what motivates black men is sex with black women. So how are we going to get this political vote? We're going to withhold sex. We want black women to withhold sex. We want intimate relationships to be withheld, which is already happening anyway. So I don't even know how that came out to be a good political marketing idea in the first place. But they're pushing because old rapper boy, I think his name is Saucy Santana. None of us really know who he is. All the black women know who he is. That wasn't pushed towards us. That wasn't marketed towards us. That black gay man was pushed towards black gay women because they like that dude. And they just made it as hot as they possibly could. Throw Trina on the track because they're trying to market 30 plus people or 25 plus people. And we all remember her. And it just literally proves hey, if you don't believe in any gynocentric ideas, this is the perfect example of one right here. This, in a music video, is plain day. They're like, hey, we can coax black men into doing political things by withholding sex. They literally just laid it plain out for you. And that's the craziest thing in the world for me. I saw that at 7:00 in the morning, and I was like, you gotta be shitting me, bro.
Yeah.
This is how low you think of us. That pussy motivates us for a political agenda. And that's just really fucked up. That's
what
all
happens
I had
when
to
you
say,
give
man.
freedom.
Okay.
But that's all I had to say, man. Go ahead.
Hold on. Prince just gonna lock everybody up and not let nobody do that he don't want to do? I'm confused.
Who?
Yes, I believe in winning. I believe that in winning and losing. Okay. Yeah, I do believe in that because that's exactly what they believe in for men. Okay. When they want to get their way, they don't care about our rights. When somebody says something that they don't like, they're all about stripping them. They're all about taking their jobs away. They're all about using the system against them. So I'm going to play that exact same game. I want to win. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, well, first,
Some
of
people,
course, I
some
want to
people
win
just want to
too.
live in peace. I want to win.
Well,
so.
first off, I mean, great job acknowledging that you Prince. Okay, cool. We got that established. But secondly,
Acknowledging
again,
that
brother,
what?
I mean, that's
I know
not how
you're
this
not
place
talking,
works where you
Kunta.
live at. And
I know you're not talking, Kunta.
All right, man.
Come on. So here's the thing: a lot of people.
What is this dude's problem?
Hold on,
He threw a shot at me. He threw a shot at me first.
Yeah.
All right, a lot of people don't understand the situation that's going on currently. Why we getting this, marketing presence that's so divisionist, or why they pushing women. So there's a thing called ESG, right? So the ESG is part of this whole climate control thing, and they want it net zero by I think 2050 or something like that. So net zero, and it seems like it's totally unrelated. But in order for you to have a good ESG score, which comes with companies getting a better loan, right? So that's the benefit of it. So the ESG score kind of feeds into investors investing. So highly scored ESG companies, they're preferred with hedge funds. So, let's say pension funds, whatever they're going to invest in, they're going for ESG first. And if you got a high ESG for your company, you're going to get investing money. So now you're going to have good loan money. But in order to have a good ESG score, dig this, you got to go by all of this new equality, equity stuff, which means woman and trans and all of that stuff. It has to be mentioned, or you got to be kind of black first. So like, this is the push that we started to get. So what happened is the ESG push is coming directly from the Democratic Party, right? So this is why you see directly from the Democratic Party that they'll pay for something like that, because that's equity for black women, which is conducive of a high ESG score. You see what I'm saying? So
is there proof that the Democratic Party's paying for this ad?
Yes.
I just want to know.
No. I don't know about that part. But what I'm saying, like, we've all noticed a difference between.
If you do the research, you can find it, man.
Yeah, well, you already know. Come on.
Are we going to play Republicans play for this? Exactly. Are we going to play? Are we really going to play that game that Republicans play for this?
I was gonna say that. Hold on, real quick. Like, we don't need smoking gun evidence to know that whoever the hell paid for this shit is associated to the Democratic Party in some come on, man. This is.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Right. So we know this. So understand, if you guys look up ESG, and this is not I'm telling you, simple YouTube search. You'll find it. And this is the push that you get in media and everything else. Because I know you're sitting there wondering, like, yo, why is it that we hearing about trans this and we seeing gay this? Because it's all a part of this equity push, and they're trying to become more just like, let's say, China, just on the communist stuff. So you get this push, and it makes sense to them. And it's divisionist, because naturally, what are men? Most men are conservative at heart. Just like most black men, we believe in family, we believe in structure. We don't really fuck with that. Excuse my language. We don't mess with the rainbow stuff. So of course, you're not gonna push the man stuff because men don't believe in it. So what do you have to do? You have to get the woman to push that in order for the men to come over. And we already doing that. That's how we got gynocratic in the black community. So they figure if you get the black woman, the black man will follow. But what happens is they're reaching that line is where black men don't mess with it. So what do you have to do? You have to hold the drawers over the black man's head. Like, no, you're not getting none. And most of us, let's keep it real, we're blue pill. We're just coming into this red pill, and then it's actually turning us more conservative. So all of us here are actually rare in our community. And you know this because when you speak to most men, they kind of like, what? Red pill, what? Or some of the ideas you say is like, damn, why would you believe that? And some of this is very common sense. So all of us on this panel are likely to vote more conservative than Democratic, especially now. And they figure, so listen, if you're in between and we start doing this equity, equality stuff, you're not gonna mess with it. So we're just gonna bring it to two extremes. If you like us, you're here. If you don't, it's F you. And that, that ad or that video is pretty much an F you to us, because what black man that's straight is gonna rock with that? Let's keep it funky. You know
a lot of them. Look at how they
black
voted in the last election.
Look
at how did they vote in the last election?
How many black men was in that video?
You just said we're the exceptions and not the rules. You just said all the people on this panel are the exception.
Okay.
So now you also know that people with our ideology are not generally the majority, even amongst men.
Okay.
So you know that most of them will go along with this, right?
No, that's not true. But that's not true. So what happened last election? We got 15% more of black men voting conservative. So we're moving toward that.
Hey, wait. What's the rules on rolling a joint during the stream? Like, is that allowed? I don't know. YouTube got an issue with that.
Bro, my bad. I was listening while I was listening. Hey,
well, don't know.
My bad, bro. My bad.
I'm dead serious. I don't know if YouTube got issues with. They gonna say that's drug use or
Well,
something.
no, you don't know what it is.
it
Long
is.
as you don't know what it is, or you don't acknowledge
Yeah,
it. I mean, it's
it could be
you know what I mean.
tobacco.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
tobacco, quote unquote. Handcuffs. He's
Hey,
rolling a
bro, why you think I was
natural
so
cigarette.
quiet and I just said my bad?
No. It wasn't about you. It was more of a question of YouTube policy. I was literally asking because I didn't know. But
That's funny though. Yeah, but so patriarchy. I believe in what you're talking about, but it's like you cannot force like people that's above 18 to do anything. So this is why you get the conservative belief, and it's like, nah, you going too far because they going into something that's kind of like we protect, which is kids. Kids aren't able to do too much. You can't drink, you can't do certain even legal drugs. Like there's a limit. You got an 18 or 21. Under that, it's like what you doing. But all adults can do what you want. Even if you play with the rainbow stuff, do what you want. Like if you want to shoot people, do what you want. But it's a consequence behind it. But do what you want. And that's what America's always been about.
No, it's not always been about it. America has been about
How
slavery.
you think we got here?
America's been about America's not historically been the land of the free. That's an idea, right? It's been about slavery, segregation, colonialism, taking other people's stuff. It's been about winning and losing. Okay, they sell this freedom stuff.
Okay, bro, you just described human nature as the entire
Whoa,
planet.
whoa. Let him lay it out. Let him lay out his point. Go ahead.
By pushing your will on somebody else. They only sell freedom. No, that's not freedom. Okay.
How do you have will?
Let me,
bruh. Hey, go. Just let him lay out his point.
All right.
Okay. The other side that made this video, they don't care about freedom. They care about their will. They care about their lifestyle being pushed, and they don't care about people that disagree with them. Anybody that disagrees with them, they want to ban them on social media. They want to take their job away. They want to leverage every benefit to them against their opponents. That's why they win. They don't care about creating this world where we all can get along. Conservatives are the only ones that have this ideology where we're going to have this world where everybody gets along. Cancel culture is very effective. Once conservatives understand how to use that cancel culture for their benefit, and you're saying, oh, we can't make people over the age of 18 do it. Yeah, we made the entire country wear a mask. We made the entire country literally.
Man. Like you gotta understand.
We literally pushed the law. We literally pushed the law. They literally pushed the law in every single county, even in the backwoods, that you had to wear a mask. That stuff is effective. So for you to sit up here and say we're like, to me, in my opinion, you are somewhat communist because you think that we can come in this world where we can just allow the people over there who hate us to do what they want, and they're never going to do anything to us. There will be winners and there will be losers. You have to understand that for my side, I want to win. I understand this, that Christianity in this country blew a 3-1 lead, right? Christianity, when I was in high school, it's only 10, 15 years ago that 15 states voted against same-sex marriage. Now, how did we get from that to now transformers around children? That came because people rested on their laurels. They got comfortable. They got content. They didn't keep pushing their will on people. They said, well, okay, a little tolerance, right? If you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. They're going to take a mile.
Here's my one question. And I think this is why people push back against what you're saying. What you're saying is right when you're talking about people pushing their will on people. The only thing is the methods in which will gets pushed nowadays is different from what it was before. Before it was by force. Before it was at point of a gun. Before it was it was slavery on the line. Now it's political posturing. It's ads. It's trying to inception people with your ideas. It's getting some little legislation passed to give you a slight edge, and then try to get more people to agree with your ideas, and then vote for another little piece of legislation. And over the course of 20 years, then it's like, oh shit, hold on. Now everybody for gay marriage and trans rights and this and that. So I think that's where people give you pushback, because it's almost like you're speaking with we got to, at the point of a gun, force these people to do
I
this.
never
But no,
said
we
that.
really, I know you're not saying. I know you're not saying it
though.
No, that's not how I'm saying it. Now you're putting words in my mouth.
Hold on. He's not saying it like that. But I think people are giving you pushback to things that you are saying that's true. But what it really is that the people who are against this new wave, this wokeism shit, need to be more politically aggressive. I think that's the simple point that you're making. But you know, you do speak with some at the point of a gun energy, but they didn't get it at the point of a gun. They I know you didn't say that. They didn't get it at the point of a gun. They got it with being politically aggressive while pretending to be the nice, loving, caring, we love all people. So
no, they got it. They got it.
Hold on. Okay, let me respond because like you.
I do. All right. Real briefly, bro, because I do want to get it through the panel because we ain't heard from Game Changer Fantastic or the brother who rolling up.
All right, so you getting two things confused. Like you talking about they making people wear masks. There's no, you could walk outside and you could not wear a mask. It's just
not 2 years ago.
Hold on, you had to in private property where people owned the store and they made the rules of the store. If they
can we stop talking about masks?
You had to.
All right, bro. You. I think it was a larger point, and you're trying to fight. You're fighting them over inches right now over the whether or not I could walk out in my front yard and wear a mask. I couldn't go into Rite Aid without a mask. That is a different thing. I understand your general point. All right, Game Changer, go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
So, Bernard, when you started this, and I went to listen to the video because I didn't see your whole introduction and everything, but when you first started it out and I seen the video, I was like, okay. One of the first things that struck me, of course, you know, the homosexual agenda is obvious, but one of the main things that struck me was the hubris of it. Because, you know, with all this pussy is power and et cetera, it's like, wow, they are really trying to take this to the next level where they're trying to translate sex and the, you know, ability to, you know, withhold it into political power. And the fact that they think that something like that would work on mass to men, heterosexual men, really, I mean, it's hubris. It really shows the mindset of relationships between Black men and Black women. And I'm talking about keeping the homosexual stuff out of it. I think that stuff like this type of thinking really trickles into individual relationships that Black men have with Black women, where they look at it as something like a cookie. You know, that's what Steve Harvey said, a cookie that they can give or take away from a behaved or ill-behaved child. They look at adults this way, and they look at male adults as children within the relationships. And this is just an example of that. Notice how there's an assumption of stupidity that exists largely in the Black community. So I can understand why they would go with that assumption. But a person would have to be, what's what I want to say? It's a special kind of stupid to where some people are openly not too bright, but they have an instinct about them to where they can sense something is wrong and not act on it. For example, in this particular instance, they say, you know, no voting, no sex. And they don't really say that if you do vote, you will have sex. So you see, like,
hold on, Game Changer. You sound like somebody like you down to vote. Just long is pussy really on the table though? That's why.
No. I mean, you got to put yourself into their mindset for a second, because it's really a hustle mindset. You know, it's the thinking that I can tell them that no voting, no sex, and they will hear, if I vote, I will fuck Trina. Like it's subtle. It's a subtle insult. It's a subtle. I'm sorry.
I would definitely not vote.
Yeah. No, and I do want to point out, I think it's fair to say that Trina has greatly diminished in the past decades.
Facts.
Yeah, she is a very unattractive woman at this stage in life. So it's very, however, She still walks around like her pussy has value. Hubris.
She would be an absentee. She'd be an absentee vote.
Please, brother.
She's
She
still
walks
she's
around.
still the baddest bitch.
She walks around as if her pussy has lingering value, and that's the hubris. That's the hubris that exists. They assume that the thirst will override general sense, and even if they are speaking to a man's thirst, they are not offering to quench that thirst in exchange for a vote. It really insults the intelligence of men. It really shows how stupid they think you are. It's like, so take a guy who's, an incel, because that's the only person who would consider something like this. You would have to be at a stage in your life when you're in an extreme level of thirst. They're not saying that we will cure your incelium. They are saying that you will continue to be an incel if you do not vote as we wish for you to vote. And that's what they're offering anyway. They're offering nothing. They're just demanding to make shit worse than it already is. It's ridiculous. The hubris is, I just couldn't believe it.
Dangling the possibility of bucking.
Well, then they're gonna win then, because if you got dudes paying for foot picks and they not getting anything, it sounds like a winning strategy.
Yeah.
Well, the dudes that pay for foot picks are getting foot picks. So, I mean, this would be the equivalent to them saying no voting, no foot picks.
And then you don't get any foot picks at the end.
All right, please, brother, you interrupt a lot. This would be the equivalent to saying, no voting, no foot picks, but then not saying that, hey, if you vote, we will give you foot picks. There was an artist, some weird bitch, who said that if my album reaches the top, I think it was Doja Cat. If my album reaches the top of the charts, I'll show you my titties. And it did, and she didn't show the titties.
Well, damn.
It's weird. It's like they only understand, negative incentives. It's sick. That's all I'm saying.
All right,
cool. The gay shit. No, you want to go to the next person?
No, I was gonna pass to the next. We'll circle back to the gay shit. Yeah. We'll circle back to the gay shit. But real quick, for those of you in the Detroit area, come hang out with Bernard Riley. That's me and a few other fellow Black Manosphere bros at Barcade in Detroit for games, drinks. October 17th, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. No cover charge or fees. More info here. Y'all click that Evite in the chat room. It's basically just the brothers, Black Manosphere content creators and subscribers getting together in the Detroit area. If you're in the Detroit area and you want to come hang out, they're going to be doing it monthly. We did it last month. We had about 10, 11 guys came out there, had a good time. So if you're in the Detroit area, click that Evite and come hang on out. But all right. I'm going to get to the super chats. I know a lot of people sent them. I will get to them. I vowed to read every super chat. I did get them all starred, so I will read them. Bill Stryker sent a $20 cash app. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that. He says they might as well legalize prostitution at this point too. I mean, I'm with some legalized prostitution, but anyway, he says, and D-Rock Den with a $5 super chat says, this is your community, not my community. But anyway, Christopher Jackson, go ahead. You got, and it looks better if you flip your camera the other way so it'll be full screen. I told you that in the back, but if it boom, see, there you go. Yeah, that look a lot better. But all right, and now he froze. Oh shit, I fucked him up.
Shouts out to Spider-Man though in the back.
Yeah, are you in the child's room? Are you in a kid's room with that blunt? I'm not telling you what to do. But
he's like no judgment, but you're smoking weed in the kids' room. No judgment though. But all right, hold on. Wait, you muted up, bro. You muted up.
Yeah, you muted.
But then somebody said that.
All right, go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Hello?
Yeah, you got it. You got the mic.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A lot of the brothers make a lot of good points. The patriarchy strikes back. You gotta love the kid's spunk, man. And you can see where like that fire comes from. Just the frustration, But if I was to say anything to him, no one on this panel is your enemy, bro. We all here for each other. Calm down, shorty. You all good.
Yeah, we don't got to censor the brother's passion. You know, he interrupt a lot, but other than that, I mean, I
I'm
like
here
the
with
passion.
Van Jones. I mean,
yeah, he got to
Nah, man,
balance out.
He
We got
excited. He excited.
that ain't Van Jones. That's Kendrick Perkins, man. I was about to ask you, but no, you got Kendrick Perkins on the damn in the manosphere now. What's going on, man?
Listen, I thought
right,
Kimbo
Prince and
Slice was so
Perkins.
outraged he came back from the dead to get on this panel. Anyway,
go ahead, bro.
I think the whole point, you know, for me is just politically and through the media, we gotta go through insult after insult after insult. And it really comes to a point like, you know, they're really comfortable doing this towards us in so many ways, in so many fashions. The real question is, when are we gonna kind of like really stop accepting it? You know, that's the real question. I can tell you, I want to say, me and a friend of mine, we were just talking this morning, how sisters were kicking their kids out and threatening to kick their kids out if they didn't support Biden. How people were really just threatening each other if you didn't support Biden. And for the record, I'm ultra MAGA, and I didn't never thought I was gonna be this way, but just the way the Democratic Party, I'm 42 years old. I grew up through the super predator era. I'm never gonna forgive that. Never. Being a teenager and somebody, a politician, telling the world, telling every citizen that you the problem, that you the most dangerous thing on the street. I'll never forgive that. That was a Democratic Party. I don't think it matters whether it's Republican or whether it's a third party libertarian, just as long as it ain't the Democrat, as long as it ain't the Democrat Party. You know, as long as we all agree we fed up with that. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of like at a nice little crossroads right here. You know, the people like, and then you put it nicely, look at the people who love you. The people who supposedly love us continuously disrespect us. The people who we were told that our enemies at least respect us as men. We got some decisions to make, gentlemen.
Yeah, the ones who they say hate us the most are bare minimum indifferent. You know, that's about as much as I can say about them.
Yeah,
they can be indifferent, but
racism is not someone telling you they don't care about you. In fact, that's the best thing somebody can tell you. I don't care what you do. I don't care about you. I care about mine. That's the best deal you're gonna get in this life.
Yeah.
You know who I respect the most in this space? Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. If he didn't like something, he did something about it, and he created that plan. If we don't like this ad, I'm using the royal we here, then you know why not? What's stopping us from creating our own ad?
Well, we need to go further than creating an ad. We need to be.
But the point of the show was about the ad.
I know, but what I'm saying is, the ad goes into a litany, into a whole category of how they really feel comfortable chumping us. And we need what we need to do what the Jewish community did. We need to have a defamation fund. And we need to really put it to them every time you feel like you can come to us a certain way. We're gonna hit your pockets, no matter who you are, whether you the black woman, whether you the Mexican, whether you the white person, it don't matter. If you can't, because bro, all of us have seen straight up campaigns insulting us.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Remember when all of us were utterly disgusted when they had strippers talk about some get to the polls.
I know.
Right. And this was actually literally worse than that one to me. To me, this one was worse. This one topped get your booty to the poll. But we're about to move it to Fantastic real quick. But before we go there, shout out to goddamn. Hold on. I'm gonna have to come back to these. He said this ad was funded and created by ATL Black's Shaq. Oh, that's Deanie who was on the panel. Said, and to Deanie, to your point, I do think the early stages of what you're talking about, us doing political ads and getting, politically organized. We are at the early stages of that. That's why I've been promoting Dr. Tiasan Johnson's 14-point black male political agenda. We are, I think the early stages of this space, moving in that direction and doing more beyond just the panels and the channels and the content and all of that. It is at the early stages of that. So
it's definitely getting there. And insult to injury, Crystalline Karazin, aka Pink Pill, met up with Ted Cruz.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Freeman's Journal in the building says, this is a class issue wearing a political skirt. We already touched on that. Actually, Freeman's Journal on the panel, so you can comment on that when you get up. He says, I already read that one by James Wingate. A story to tell in the building says, this doesn't make me want to vote or vuck. Okay, yes, he already read some of these ones. He says, not running interference. Okay, that was Dean. He said he's not running interference. Look up Linda Pelosi. What was that? Polsanchi? Hopefully I got that right. I'm horrible with names. Blackjack in the building says, I feel forgotten as a merited black man. No guarantees, says Charles Barkley, smelling like roses right now. Freeman's Journal in the building. We're going to go to Freeman's Journal in a little bit because he's at the bottom on the panel. He says, that is why this is a class and cultural issue at its core, not political. This is a cultural issue growing in the black community. Shaq is on the bussy side. And
Shaq
my
is a
man
trick.
Jonathan Barronville in the building with the heavy-handed $50 super chat. Always appreciate your support. Shout out to JB coming on through. Charles Merchant in the building says, he says the Black Girl Magic political movement is tied to its control over black men. She cannot get paid unless she brings her sons under the left-wing ideology. Well said right there. And Freeman's Journal back in with another one. He says black men are reticent to, I think you mean reluctant to recognize the cultural war at all, much less that it is a war. Wars have victors, winners, and losers. I plan to win. Support black male media. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Thank you for your patience, Mr. Fantastic. Go ahead. You got the floor. You got the mic.
Hey, what's up, man? Am I coming in quick?
On?
Not much. Back to work, unfortunately. Well, yeah, man. Shout out to you, Bernard. It's immediately as I got done streaming last night, your video popped up, and I was like, "What? Like, what is he talking about, bro?" And I looked at this, and I'm like, "Bro, not again." Not like you said, bro. This is far worse. Like the get your booty to the polls thing was. Shout out to Game Changer. What he was saying it. This wasn't. It wasn't a negative. This is okay. If you do this, it's going to increase your chances. The other brother said this is a threat, man. This is a threat to like, okay, if you don't vote, and we all know, this is if you don't vote Democrat, not just vote, but if you don't vote Democrat, oh, we just gonna cut the coochie off. You know what I'm saying? Coochie cutoffs out here. Over your vote. When again, bro, stop it.
Or they gonna cut the bussy off too. Don't remember
well, they can't. Bernard, respectfully, brother, they can't cut that off for me because that's never been on the table.
I'm just saying they like just in case.
Hey man, if that's your thing, man. Hey man, I know you. I told y'all niggas about out here getting your ass ate. Now that's where that came in. Y'all out here too much getting, pegging is cool for men and all this stuff. All right, these people be listening to shit y'all be saying around here. That's why they got this man up here talking about supposedly straight man and all this stuff or whatever. But anyway, yeah, man, that's the biggest part, and that's the biggest insult is that this is clearly geared to heterosexual black men. But the star of it is not even Trina. Trina was the feature. Trina was second.
Yeah.
All right. They put the whatever this monstrosity is out here first. The Santana fella. I refuse to say the first part of what his moniker is. Hey man, you want to say that? But this man that pretends to be a woman and he's doing all these these gyrations and these things and blah blah and like, bruh, what are we doing here, man? So again, man, ultimately is let you know that we are being heard, and this like the small percentages that don't seem like much. I know the brother was saying that black men still vote in the majority in Democrat, which is true, but the 15% and the 20% that didn't, they started paying a whole lot of attention to us because why? The bigger those percentages matter. You know what I'm saying? Those small percentage, you know, especially when these you know, these elections are being won by less than 5% or whatever. So if you get 15, 20, and if 20 turns into 25, you get 30% of black men that are out of the Democratic Party and just are now automatically giving them the vote. That's a huge thing from a political standpoint. You know what I'm saying? From a numbers standpoint. So I just wanted to let the brothers know, man, that like what we're doing here is more than just the panels, more than just, you know, talking and doing a lot of you know, the stuff here on YouTube, bro. But this stuff is spreading out because brothers are starting to understand the message and the importance of politics, and you know, your vote should come with something. You know,
Can
not
you,
my bad. Go ahead, brother.
well, I'll say, can you go in more details? What is it that you're doing here?
Well, what we're doing here is we're giving awareness, a level of awareness to and talking about topics that a lot of brothers just don't discuss. I mean, you have a lot of things that, you know, barbershop talk or locker room talk, sports, you know, and you know, women, things like that. But brother, we talk about a lot of politics here. We talk about technology here. We talk about finances here.
Well,
We talk about go ahead, brother.
No, to Deanie's question, I mean, I just refer you back to just last week or a couple weeks ago, where like they literally was talking about black men not voting for the
Yeah.
Democratic Party, and they
And
blamed
called out, yeah,
Kevin Samuels
Tariq
and Fareed
Nasheed and Kevin
Nasheed.
Samuels. And Kevin
So
Samuels is
that's
dead. Rest in peace.
yeah. So that shows right
R.I.P.
there that, you know, men speaking, raising their voice, and not letting all the other voices dominate and control the room, and be the only the damn what the fuck, the only megaphone out there. It is making a difference. So that's where I'm at with that. So anybody who's
Yeah.
trying to argue
Well,
that these
Bernard,
panels, hold on
one
real
thing
quick.
though.
Well, yeah, before
Yeah, hold on,
well,
real quick. Anybody who's trying to argue that these YouTube channels, podcasts, not doing nothing, I think you're pretty short sighted. I don't
yeah.
even think Republicans win as many of the elections that they've won if it wasn't for the conservative talk radio and all of that stuff.
Facts.
Those platforms, they galvanize an audience. You can change people's mind, inception people with your ideas. You affect the way that they vote. And so to say that we're not
And not
having any effect, that's to say everybody else's
not just
propaganda work except for ours. So no, I
not just
never know.
Inception, Bernard, not just Inception. Again, the first time you've ever heard something other than what you've heard all your life. Again, I
Yeah.
think most of us on this panel, you know, were you know, Obama voters, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I you know, voted for Obama proudly twice because I was under the Democratic, you know, delusion of that.
Mhm.
Okay, for one, this black man's gonna do something for me, so on and so forth. Lo and behold, now we got LGBT over us. You know, and again, being thrown in our face in this ad here specifically. So you become aware, man, because you just don't get a lot of this stuff in the black communities. Where I've never heard anybody had any deep financial conversations, stock market, or any of this stuff. You know, financial planning, investing, real estate, property. Before I came to YouTube, and I came to YouTube in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. A lot of brothers are never surrounded by this stuff to hear it because, you know, this is just what black people just don't talk about this. You know, we're so behind from in so many levels, from, you know, important, especially adult wise, finances we're behind, social awareness we're behind, politics we're behind, just a whole bunch of things we're behind in. So this place has done this space has done a huge help of making black men aware that it's more to the world than just, you know, vagina and you know, and trying to get vagina. That's what I would say, bro.
All right. We're gonna go to Freedman's Journal. You guys said a lot of interesting things in the super chat, so you can go ahead and speak on that. You got the floor. You got the mic. Hold on, wait. Jay, a story to tell in the building. He says, "Get your booty to the pose is a rainbow spiritual." Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody supporting the stream. Y'all came through hard and heavy-handed. Appreciate each and every one of you. Go ahead, Freedman's Journal.
Hey, thanks, Bernard. Appreciate it. Yeah, like I said in my super chat, this is really a class and cultural issue, right? I mean, it's dressed up in politics, but that ad is only going to appeal to certain people, right? It's only going to appeal to a certain demographic, right? A certain income range is going to be like, oh yeah, you know, this is awesome. Da, 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 da. And you know, are there men that will say, hey man, I might vote because of this? Yes, right? And you know who they are, right? Mm-hmm. So the men who are more on the right side of the culture war are unimpressed, right? And don't want this. So what I have noticed and kind of did a show with SKC on this. Is the class divide in the Black community, can that be like reconciled? And the answer is no. It just can't. And as a subgroup in America, we are the only group that is compact geographically. So like, think about what you think of as Black, right? And how much that has been affected by the fact that the most indigent among us, live within a few miles of you, no matter how much money you make, right? Right, to find an equally impoverished, white person, you got to go 2-3 counties over, right? They aren't within 60 miles; they exist, but that whole mentality, right, and our outsized influence and culture. Why? Because we're packed into large media markets, right? So we can have that influence. So, yeah, really, it's just a class issue, and it's something that is so explicit that you can't ignore it, right? So now the people trying to wait it out have to come with better and more outlandish things to say to try to sit on the sidelines or to not participate, right? The ground in the middle is shrinking. So, but over the next 10 years, Black people are just gonna have to choose. Well, what do you want? Right? Well, and for me, and that's why I help in education, right? Because it's obvious, right? 99% of the time, if you're voting on the right side of the political spectrum, you're gonna get more school choice, right? You're gonna get more opportunities. That's just how it goes. If you're on the left side of the political spectrum and it's Democrats running the school system, Black boys can't read, right? I mean, it just is what it is. You're going to have to pick one, right? And you're going to have to live with those consequences. So.
Right on, right on. Hood Conservative, welcome back. Welcome back. You got the floor. You got the mic. And shout out to Perfect Storm. Do appreciate you coming through. He says SNG going to go ham with this ad. And Boost said, well, I think she might be with it. I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know. But anyway,
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead.
speaking of SNG though, they are like low key. This is a response to the manosphere and the big picture of things. Somebody earlier had made a comment about like, Black men need to kind of, formulate a response or something to that effect. And I'm like, no, we don't. Because honestly, they are responding to us. And their response to us has been so flat-footed. Like, what do you even say to somebody like that? Like, they're trying to sell homosexuality to the men. How do you respond to that? It doesn't even make sense. So I don't even think I put it like
Hood Conservative, it ain't working today. It ain't working today.
Yeah, I thought that was me.
Nah, Hood Conservative. Oh wait, hold on. You back? Go ahead. It sounds like you're done Borging. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I do want to hear what Hood Conservative got to say on this one, but we gotta pass it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Patriarchy.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna be very, very, very unpopular. And it's fine because I'll go ahead and do it. My number one problem with Donald Trump and the RNC during the 2020 election was I think they spent too much with Black voter outreach. I think that most of the money that they spent didn't go to people directly on this panel. I think that the people on this panel voted because they felt that his principles were right. Now, what I'm noticing is, because I go on Twitter Spaces from time to time, there's this group of people who are now saying, well, the Republicans need to do more. They need to do more. They need to do more outreach. They need to do more outreach. They spent so much money in Atlanta, so much money in Detroit, so much money in Milwaukee. And according to the numbers, Black people in those areas came out and voted for Joe Biden even more than Obama. Now, if you think that that's real or not, that's I know this from an investment strategy, it's a failed investment. Once again, I believe more what the gentleman said earlier, who left with the guy. We're the exception and not the rule. I do believe there's a talented 10th, and I do believe only 10% to 12% of people are going to get it. And I think that after Donald Trump won the first time, they centered black people so much. But at the end of the day, it's 12 to 13% of the population. And for me, I feel like the group that made some of the biggest gains, and Trump did hardly anything for the group, was Hispanics. So for me, if I'm a conservative, we're all, most people are still going to be politically conservative if they are right now, right? Things like this don't necessarily help out the Democratic cause for the people that are already there. But I would spend more money reaching out to the Hispanics. I'm sorry. I would literally, I would make a deal with them, because at this point in time, if they're getting to a point to where they outnumber blacks 2-1 and I want to win, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do what it takes to win. And I feel like Donald Trump's biggest, the biggest issues I have with Donald Trump, and great president, but you're funding people who hate you. You're passing all this justice reform, and it got you, what, an additional 2% of the vote? Was it really worth all of that? And then you lost, and then I don't know, man. I just think that the conservatives should have had a better strategy. And honestly, I would realize that we have what we have when it comes to the black community, but we need to move on, because I think at this point in time, it's a failed investment.
All right. If I was, no, I mean,
can I go, Bernard?
If I was, no, yeah, you can go on that. I was just going to say, I understand. I actually understand what you're saying, just from a political strategy standpoint, that it may be easier if the goal is for Donald Trump to win, it may be easier for him to get them than it is to get black men to hop on board at a high percentage rate. But there was some data that I saw recently that, black men, like 19% voted GOP. So that is a bump up. So I don't know, but either way, I mean, I'm not even into trying to be his political strategist. I just look at it from the lens of black men. But anyway, Deanie, you wanted to respond to that?
No, that was me, Bernard.
Who was that?
Friedman.
That's Friedman's journal. Okay, go ahead.
So, well, I concur, right? And not so much that they're wasting money, but that the people who participate are the people that have the influence, right? The whole idea of withholding your vote is not going to net anything, like nothing. The black men, when I'm telling you, after this this polling post Georgia gubernatorial election, right, that is going to change things, right? Black men voting are the black men that are going to be polled and they're going to have a voice, right? This intense effort to sit on the couch will net you nothing. And as far as Hispanics' influence, they're participating. You're talking about districts along the Rio Grande River, right? Heavily Latino going Republican, right? They're participating, and the guys that want to are trying hard to sit on the couch and the same guys are saying, "Oh man, they're doing everything for Latinos." Yeah, they're participating. That's why. So if you don't participate, you don't get anything, right? Nobody sat at home and some politician knocked on the door and said, "How can I serve you?" That's not how it works.
Facts.
And they're unashamed of identity politics. I think you had a brother on the show that was saying, "Oh, there's no Hispanic congressional caucus." I was like, "What? What are you talking about?"
It definitely is, yeah.
But they get active, and if black men can get active in a similar fashion, we would definitely make some headways. So I think I cut someone off, so my bad.
And one point somebody made in the chat, somebody made this in the chat, and it's so funny. They said the Democrats are going after Hispanics. I'm going to tell you this. You think black men are tired of the rainbow community and crime and BLM? You don't know any Hispanics. You don't know any Mexicans, because they are 50. They hate this 50 times more than your worst of. That's my whole thing with a lot of, like, even some of the pro BLM people or the pro rainbow people. What happened when BLM went to Mexican neighborhoods? you got ran out of there, right? What happened when the abortion people went into the Catholic churches that were majority Hispanic? Called a beatdown. What happened? Like, if you think we're bad, and that's what this is what's so funny. Like, if you think black male conservative toxic behavior is bad, you don't know Julio or Pablo, because you have not seen anything yet when it comes to them.
So Bernard, if I may, I want to talk about another aspect of it, if I have the floor and mic.
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm slightly stepping away for a second, so you got it. Go ahead.
Okay, so there, wanted to point out the cognitive dissonance that's going on here. Somebody's Freeman, I think that's you. Yeah, I wanted to point out that because it's worth highlighting the cognitive dissonance that's going on with this commercial or ad or whatever you want to call it, and that is, it would appear as if the demographic of women whose pussy is worth the least seem to behave in a fashion as if it's worth the most. You see, Black women here in America, and probably globally, Black American women at least, have the least valuable pussy. However, they try to wield the most power with it. It's kind of like if Thor had a plastic hammer, but he was still using it as if it was still a regular lightning wielding hammer. Like, notice how the groups of women, the demographic of women, aren't using their attempting to use their more valuable pussy in this way. You know, like Brazilian women aren't saying crap like this, and neither is Sri Lankan women, neither are where's the place that the president was, Haitian women. Like, no one, women with more valuable pussy aren't using it that way. It's kind of like a homeless person attempting to buy a Mercedes. It's like, or it's even regular people aren't trying to, that even regular income people aren't trying to buy. It's weird. It's like a misunderstanding of the absence of power that the pussy of this particular demographic wield. Did anybody else catch that? It's like, wait a minute, isn't like Asian pussy the most sought after, but they're not trying to pull no crap like this? Like, or white is more, like all the women's who's in America whose vagina is worth more collectively are not trying to pull this crap because they know that even though it's worth more, it's not worth that much more. Is it just me, or was that a takeaway that a lot of other brothers caught? Everybody's muted.
Well, I'll say this. Yeah, I agree, but again too, like you said, they're the only demographic to where they have the lead. None of these other women, groups of women, are think they're over their men. Even white feminists, as much as they hop on TV and do whatever, so on and so forth. Like, when you find out they vote however their husbands or their man votes. So Black women are the only women that are quote unquote in control politically of their race or their demographic. So this is why they think, an empty threat, which we know is not go. I mean, are we going to see childbirths and single mother rates plummet? By the same percentage of Black men voting out? I highly doubt it. Okay, so with that being said, that's why it's happening.
Yeah, I personally don't know how Black women entered into this conversation.
Well, the video was, I mean, even though it was done by a gay man, the video was saying, no voting, no coochie.
Yeah, Black women are the piece of the value that's being used here to make you vote, sir. That's why Black women are being brought up. Black women are the focus. They are the focus of the entire campaign as to what you will not get if you do not vote.
But let's be honest, like that's not like real life. Like, we know Black women like to have sex. This is not like a secret, and I personally I get what you're saying, where you're coming from, Game Changer, but that's why I had to put out the disclaimer. The views of Game Changer do not reflect everyone on the panel.
Well, what part in particular don't reflect your views? I'm curious.
I don't hold those absolutes. A group of women with the least desire. I'm not going to go into the details.
Wait a minute. No. Whose pussy is worth less? Let's go there. Whose pussy is worth less collectively?
I'm going to do this.
No, whose pussy is worth less? Go to a regular person and say that there's a nightclub full of black women, there's a nightclub full of Latin women, there's a nightclub full of Asian women, and there's a nightclub full of white women. And where would they go? Where would they go? I mean, help me out, Dean. Whose is worth less?
Everyone has their preferences. That's all I can say. So you're entitled to your preference. That's all I can say.
Who's preferred least? Let's flesh it out, because we're talking about collective. Whose is preferred least? We have to make this clear, because I'm sick of the behavior to where they're behaving as if it is worth the most. It is worth the least, but they're demanding the most for it. I'm curious. I know you want to be polite, but whose is worth less? Whose collectively is worth less? Just like, well, yeah. Bernard,
it's like the conversation on beauty. I know that. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh wait, no. See, I was muted. I was trying to jump in. Go ahead. Well, I was about to say this. We don't got to hold his feet to the fire about what race of women vagina has the highest, medium, or lowest value. We ain't got to hold his feet to the fire on that. We good on that. But it is where when you say you don't know how black women came into this, that part is non-negotiable. Like the political ad was leveraging vagina to try to get black men to vote. I don't like that's a part of it that you can't get around. That basically it was a black ad who was supposedly funded by black people, even though I think it's still some investigation need to be done on that. But the fact of the matter is it was a political ad where they wanted to galvanize a base of black women, galvanize a base of LGBTQ people, but the nod to black men was these women are going to go on a sex strike if you're not voting properly. So you can't separate that from
that's BS.
From the reality of the ad.
It's total BS. Like we know, like women love sex. It's not like it's funny if anything else.
Oh no, we're not. I wasn't saying that they're actually going to do it. It's just the goal of them to even put to put money into a well-produced rap video / political ad, basically doing that as if it's going to galvanize black men to get out and vote. So that's why it's a problem. Nobody is sitting there shaking in their boots scared that they're not going to get no pussy. But I'm just saying it's just the mere fact that they did it. That's
a lot of audacity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's a misconception of how much their pussy is worth. To think that it's worth that much, that they would be able to change the political landscape when other groups realize that theirs isn't worth that much is ridiculous. It's hubris, and it's a cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, I personally don't I don't view any vagina in this way. Like I
agree.
I just like you get to a certain level where it's like, okay, like whether it's black, Asian, or whatever, it's like, okay, like
I agree.
Let me
some are closer to changing that, to doing that than others, but theirs is the furthest away. However, they're the first to attempt it.
Yeah, I was just about to go down that rabbit hole with you. Okay, so if Latino women did something similar, would it be like, okay, you got my attention?
No,
and then if Asian women did it, okay, goddamn it, where do I need to vote? Who do I need to vote for? It's like exactly. Is that the delineation?
But the thing is that Asian women know not to do it. They have a relatively clear understanding.
You're talking about a culture and class thing.
Well, I mean, they have a relative on all class levels. They have a relatively more in sync understanding of how much their pussies work, the limits of the power of their pussy. They have an understanding of it. I'm saying that they're amongst the black women who do crap like this, they are under the impression that the power of their pussy is limitless. They actually think that it is, Emperor Palpatine, unlimited power. That is how they view their pussy. It is they view it as limitless, even though it get limited all the time. Even though it get limited when they work the pole all night and come out with $24. They realize that there is a limit in some aspect, but they still think it's limitless. It's weird. There's an extraordinarily it's a cognitive dissonance. It's just like, what the hell? Like,
agreed. Where are we at here? Shout out to, already read that one. Shout out to Lord Loves Smith in the building, says, I am going for the Asian women box every day and twice on Sunday.
Okay, and that's his prerogative.
I want to bring out something else that was said in the chat room too. Somebody said it's all powerful to homosexuals. I agree. Pussy is all powerful to homosexuals, but guess what? Even to a homosexual, yours is the least powerful. That even a homosexual who's trying to figure out whose air mattress to sleep on, he's going to sleep on the one with the most money. Even then, it's the least powerful. So even with that understanding, you dare attempt this? You dare attempt this? That's like whatchamacallit? That's like, who's that country with the that's like Madagascar attacking the US. It's like, the hubris. What made you think that you were so powerful that you had a chance? Why would you attempt that?
Landmark 22 in the building, he says it's the same group of vax that thing up. I barely even remember vax. I gotta go rewatch vax.
It's majority agencies, the same group, exactly like you said. Shaq's company. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And if I investigate, I find out Shaq is the Darth Sidious behind all of this. He's the man behind the court curtain. I'm gonna be real disappointed because I really respect Shaq as a basketball player and just a personality in basketball. He's funny, entertaining, interesting perspective, and was extremely talented and gifted as an athlete. But so yeah, I'll be disappointed. But last one left, Hayes in the building, says reminds me of a 1920s blackface cartoon for the 21st century with actual black people in it. Yeah, that's one area where I look at. There's only one person. They didn't delete the comment. They deleted all the negative comments in the message in the comment section for the video. The no voting, no voting, no vucking. The only comment they didn't delete that was negative was when somebody just dropped a bunch of coons. It's like, some of the conversations we be having, we be getting called coons, but it's other shit that should meet the criteria of being of cooning, and that for damn sure should be it. But thank you for that last one left, Hayes. Appreciate everybody who's supporting the streams thus far. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the like button. Do appreciate everybody in the building. What is that right there that you're dropping in the chat room, Freedman's Journal?
Oh, that's a link to an article.
Latino voters rate, apparently.
Yeah, the title is "What Drives Latino Male Voters to Republicans."
Oh, well, what does, since we on the topic of that?
Well, we can bring up the link. Oh shoot, it's behind the paywall. Well, basically, several voters said values like individual responsibility and such are the things that drive them. Right? It's a values argument.
Mm-hmm.
It comes back to that. Right.
Got it.
And so I think the link that Pablo had is majority Latinos vote Democrat. Yes, that is correct. But their vote is fungible. So it doesn't stay, it's not static, right? It doesn't say 70-30 each and every election for 50 years, right? Sometimes it's 65-35, sometimes it's 60-40. It moves around, right? Their vote has been shown to be winnable. And if you need a margin in the center to win an election, where you're going to put your energy, right? In a voting block that is proven to be winnable, or in a voting block that has been static to your opponent for the last 50 years. Right.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what Patriarchy Strikes Back was talking about, and that's
Exactly.
really
He's
the
right.
conundrum and the problem that the Republicans are in, because they get called racist, but the black vote has shown to be static. So it's like, by them ignoring what appears to be a static vote, they look like they're that gives fuel for their opponents to say, look at them, they're racist, they don't care nothing about you or your communities or none of that stuff like that. But you can, from a political standpoint, you can understand it to some degree. But that's why I'm glad some movement is happening. The black vote should not be a static vote. I think that black female vote is going to be static, but the black male vote, if it fluctuates one way in one election because one candidate is talking about this, and it fluctuates another way in another election because another candidate is talking about this, I'm good with that. I'm good if I see black men moving and operating like they're actually thinking. Like that's my main thing that I'm with.
And
Well, yeah,
I'm
I
glad.
mean, just the fact that they're trying to galvanize the black vote to whoever side means that they understand that it's up for grab.
Yeah.
Bring your booty to the poll, the hot sauce in the purse, and stuff like that. I mean, it shows that they're pretty stupid, or they have a very limited understanding of black men in general, voting black men at least. They have a very limited understanding of that, but it does show that they're like, oh crap, this is up for grabs, because there is a marketing attempt, to grab black men. So, which is a good thing in that regard. It's kind of like when George W. spoke Spanish,
Or George W. danced to an African.
Well, he
piece.
did that after he was elected, but yeah, that too.
And I'm glad that Freeman's Journal pointed out the Latino thing, because have you all noticed how much capitulation the United States has given to that particular community? Like, how many times have you called in and it said "Oprima el dos" for if you want to have your comments in Spanish? Like, that's, you might not realize it, but that's there's a lot of political effort into pushing for those things to happen. And it might seem minute, but there's some acquiescence going on there, and even some undermining of our core principles. So it's easy to kind of poke fun at this ad, but I always look at saying, okay, what are we doing? What do black men want? What are we doing? And it's a difficult conversation to have sometimes.
Yeah. Yep, no doubt. Perfect Storm in the building. He says the movie Bamboozled showed what that ad is. Yeah. This was some bamboozled. This was some bamboozled type stuff. No ifs, ands, or buts about that one. No ifs, ands, or buts about that one.
No, it's
Now,
man-boozled.
man. Oh man. But all right.
Is. It's an insult. It's a general insult to the black man's intelligence. I mean, it really shows. Somebody mentioned homosexuals. It really shows that they see us all as homosexuals, and
Yeah.
And yeah, that it's a huge insult to the general intelligence of black men. So, Dean, I have to say, I don't find a problem with the whole press two to for Spanish, because, and this is because when I go places, I do want the same thing. If they say press two for English, I'm like, oh yes, So I don't really see a problem with
You
stuff like
live in
that.
California, so you probably see that more. But I think other places probably see it as more of a convenience. I mean, more of an inconvenience. That is, I mean, even though it's a small inconvenience, but I think you probably just see things differently. You've been in California your whole life.
Well, I mean, if it
America's been
bothers you, you just
assimilated.
press one quicker, and you won't even have to hear that part. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the language of labor in America is Spanish. I mean, it's already over, right? The whole illegal immigration question was a question for 20 years ago, right? and black people weren't hearing it. They were hearing, oh, they're just trying to do them like they do us, right? I mean, it's over. It is over, well and truly. So, I mean, it's not even an issue for me. I mean, that's, the 90s are gone.
I agree. The ability to sustain families over generations is their advantage, and that's an advantage that we don't have because black women. But nevertheless, their population will continue to increase. Black and white population will continue to decrease, and yeah, it will become more and more frequent.
But I brought that up though to show that there was a political effort in getting these capitulations. Like I guess black men, I wish that there was more of a push for like NCAA athletes. This is the minor example, okay, but like college athletes getting paid like for their likeness, and for a long time you could say that we were like kind of asleep at the wheel, and to Bernard's point, we're like entering into this phase, which I think is accurate, that we're like getting some type of political awakeness. So like right now, there's some attention, and I don't want to lose this momentum or opportunity to kind of push things that we feel are necessary. So,
right. No, I get it. I wasn't coming at you. I just I didn't see that particular thing the same way that that you did. I also not sure if it's more corporate interest than political interest, because they like, here's a group of people, 17% of the population. Let's sell them stuff. Let's open them up to, I don't know, Sprint or T-Mobile. Because like, I mean, think about it. Like, say you have the big four: Sprint, T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. And AT&T says, I'm not going to have press option 2 for Spanish, which means that Verizon will get all the Spanish customers. Like, so
yeah, and Game Changer, that was a small example. I'm just talking about
hold on real quick. Nigerian Flex is asking Bernard, how do I get in contact with you outside of the podcast? Definitely hit my email. It's in the about section. Hit my email. You want to get in contact with me, and so yeah, just making sure we get that handled right there. And also, while I'm at it, Little Big Nate, me and Little Big Nate got a one-on-one coming up down the road pretty soon called Little Big Nate Was Right. We're going to do that coming up pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that. But go ahead, whoever was talking. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, the O Primo al Dos was me being just flagrantly sarcastic.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
it's part of a bigger machine, like the whole Cuban, the whole freaking Cuban, what the hell was that policy? Basically, they were able to like come here illegally and get all of the freaking welfare hookups.
Yeah, wet foot, dry foot policy.
Yeah, there's an that's I know what you're saying. There's like an actual term for it though. But yes, the wet foot, dry foot policy. So that was my bigger point.
All right, guys, I got to step away for a second. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, also, and this can't really go ignored, is the gay aspect of it. That's extremely disturbing, and this is what I notice as far as Black women interactions with gayness and heterosexuality, or excuse me, transsexuality. Their association with that. They seem to be willing to, with that community, just like any other community, unite with any other community, including one they hate. Make no mistake, they do hate that community. Every time they want to insult a heterosexual Black man, that's what they call them. And they really talk about how they threaten, particularly the transsexuals, how they threaten their image of femininity.
Yes.
And quite frankly, they fear that they take their man, which really says something about your understanding of your sexual value. So yeah, it is a lot going on there, but they don't like that community in general. However, they're willing to unite with it in order to control Black men. I find that fascinating. Also, Trina is a very unattractive woman.
She was never really attracted to me personally.
No, exactly. So there was a decline. There was a decline. You see,
I don't know.
there was a decline in her looks, as I seen on that commercial. But furthermore, her appeal wasn't that she was attractive. She wasn't chilly, or she wasn't any of the other hot, like Alicia Keys, Lauryn Hill. She wasn't that. She was never that. However, she was the one who was sexually available, or at least she perceived herself to be, do about 5 or 6 best friends. So what she lacked in that, she made up for in availability. Now, even with full availability, is not desired. Want to point that out. And it really goes to show that, listen, if you are going to try to use the possibility of sex to manipulate men, you should use sexier people.
Game changer. I want to pin you down on what you were talking about, that alliance with and I just found out what L Gibbets meant. It's LGBT. Anyway, I want to pin you down on the whole alliance with Black women and LGBTQ, because there's something there. Like they because there's a cohort asking for men to lead and everything like that, and patriarchy, and like this alpha male prototype, but then there's you see who they ally with and who they allow to be their spokesman, which is crazy. Like even on YouTube, there's like there's a number of channels that are LGBTQ channels that are basically advocating like a mouthpiece for Black women, and I too find that fascinating. I think it's like taboo, because I don't want to say anything that will be reckless on Bernard's channel. Like we can't talk about it, but we all kind of see it, and it's like a Chappelle show skit, like wait a minute, you're Black women empowerment, and you got these Black dudes talking for you. Like, what's that about? It's the weirdest thing.
It's the gynocracy, right? Those are
Right.
conquered males, right?
Yeah.
They represent fully conquered males because they've abandoned all masculinity. That's why they like them, right? And that's why they have them do their bidding. It's a power play, right? And that's why they use that same insult against men they know aren't that, right? It's the quickest way to attack their masculinity, right? It's all about control, right? If you view their actions through the lens of power, it all makes sense.
But to have Hope Gazelle,
it's a mutual. It's the way I see it is it's mutual manipulation. Because the L Gibbets, they are also, it's a power move for them too. These are people who are anti, traditionalism, anti-family structure, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The more people that are not pro, a family structure, and which, includes, heterosexual relationships. These are people who are generally against heterosexual relationships. So they unite themselves with the group of women who are most against heterosexual relationships, in order to push their agenda.
Good point.
It's mutual manipulation is what it is. And, to neither's benefit. Neither party is going to benefit from this. And also, a lot of them like Black women, and that's for the obvious reason. They give them a way to hide their illusions and delusions. Like if you see somebody who has an aggressive personality, a lot of makeup and a wig on, in another community, you would just say, "Oh, that's L Gibbet." But in that community, they're like, "Oh no, we all look like this. We all walk around with a ton of makeup and wigs and crap like that." So they could camouflage their chicanery, a lot better.
Yeah, I know this is going to sound like a cliche, but like when it comes to that, Black women really need to do better, because that it's borderline pathetic. This person does not understand you as a woman. They don't understand menstruation. They don't understand all the complexities that come with being a woman. And for that person now to be your spokesperson, you look foolish. You look dumb. And I don't see black women talking. I don't see enough black. Obviously, there's women in the space that talk about it, but in general, I don't see enough black like that foolishness that happened with Fox Soul. Like they need to do. It was just sad.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that happened with Fox Soul, they understand that it compromises their femininity. They will unite with anybody as long as it means controlling black men. They would unite with white men, through welfare system, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They will unite with anybody because the ultimate control, the ultimate goal for them, for the sisterhood, is to control black men indefinitely. That's what the Scrolls was about. That's what it is. They want to control black men's sexuality, not sexuality, but they want to control black men's right to choose their sexual mates. Like that is the ultimate goal, and they are willing to do anything in order to and to achieve that. Somebody said it says Caucasians can only legalize insanity only for so long. Yeah, exactly. And that's why when people talk about the Spanish and stuff, like, listen, to me, it doesn't really matter who's on top if you're on the bottom. However, if a group of people were to come and end the matriarchy, end all of this foolishness, I don't really care, what group is. I just look at white dudes like, hey, more fool you. That's
Well, oh, Bernard's not back. On that note, game changer, I was going to say that's already going to happen, right? Just with people, black women being evicted, especially black women on Section 8, and they're going to get kicked out of cities, right? They're just, all Section 8 has to do is not keep up with inflation, and they got to go somewhere else, right? So basically, poor black people are going to have to live next to poor white people, right? Outside of major cities. And then who's going to take their place?
Yeah.
Right? The people, the class of people who are doing all the labor, who are doing all the building, right? In which, I made a map. I mapped Spanish language radio stations through like 4 states. And that's why I said the replacement's over, right? They're already here. Like it's done. It's just a matter of switching chairs at this point.
Now, maybe you can help me, Freeman's Journal, because I've always been curious about this. What does a person have to do to qualify for Section 8?
They just have to apply, right? And they have to have their income limitations. Like you can still have a job, right? So I've got tenants that have jobs, but it's mostly women with children, and they don't have a lot of money, right? And some women don't have jobs at all. I mean, there was one tenant who my wife rented to her, but she never even spoke to her, right? She never spoke to the tenant. She spoke to like 2 or 3 agencies, but never to the tenant till the tenant moved in. That's how well this one particular chick was able to work the system. She got her rent paid for, and the part of the rent she was supposed to pay for, she got another program to pay for. So, you basically just apply and meet some income limitations.
Then how come regular homeless are homeless?
Well, because they want to be homeless.
So you're saying that the homeless men and women on the streets, like in those tent cities in Oakland, Berkeley, San Francisco and stuff, you're telling me that they just didn't apply?
Yeah.
And it's mostly men.
Yeah, oh man, GC, I'll hit you up, dude. There's a channel of a guy in LA, and he does some interviews. He was interviewing this homeless guy, and this guy was obviously well enough to go get a job. I was like, this guy is like urbane and articulate and is homeless, right? He's not there because he can't navigate society. He was there because he wanted to be there.
No, okay, but because technically, in my opinion, Section 8 is something like homeless. But you're telling me that they would rather live in the tent outside the home than live in the home?
Section 8 is nothing like homeless, by the way. Section 8 is nothing like homeless.
Fair enough. I shouldn't say that. But
yeah, I'm telling you, all the activists that do it think they just need a home, and then they try to provide homeless people a home, and they realize they don't want to be there, right? They move in and move out, or they move in and tear it up and they have to kick them out. Yeah, that is the truth. They just don't want to be there. Oh, Bernard, hey, let me share my screen real quick. Okay, so this is a map, Bernard. You're on mute. You're on mute, sir. I think you're on mute, Bernard. Okay, so what this is I just mapped out some radio stations in a couple of states. And this is Atlanta, right? This is Birmingham, Tennessee, and South Carolina. And you can see all the radio stations. That's where Spanish speakers are, right? But there just aren't a lot in the cities. And once you kick out, once Section 8 people get kicked out, right, you bring in the actual laborers, the workers who are doing the labor, and that's how you have to rebuild the cities. Because basically every city is decrepit, man. It needs its sewer system rebuilt, needs its infrastructure rebuilt, all that stuff. So it's like, who's going to do it, right? The people that are there now? No, right? They're not. So this is what I'm telling you is the replacement has already happened, right? Atlanta is ringed with Spanish language radio stations. And look at Huntsville. Wow. This is northern Alabama, right? Northern Alabama has 3 Spanish language radio stations.
Is that exclusively Spanish, like 100%, no English on the station at all?
Well, no, I did a search of Spanish language radio stations, so it's going to be in Spanish.
Wow.
Right. And so this is how it is. And then to my other point about not participating, this is New Orleans, right? And a couple of these were established after 2005, because what happened in 2005 after Katrina, they were supposed to have a program to let the residents, right, rebuild the city. Hey, we're going to turn them into skilled laborers and rebuild the city. Did they do that? Nope. Illegal aliens came in, they did the rebuilding and established the beachhead. And, no shade. I would have done the same thing, right? I would have done the exact same thing. And black people were like, oh, well, what are we going to do? Well, you did nothing, and that's what happened.
Now, let me ask this. What happens when a Section 8 person becomes a 2-income family and the sum of their income exceeds the minimum requirement for Section 8?
Oh, they would get kicked off. But I mean, most people aren't going to let that happen.
So, and a way of not letting that happen, correct me if I'm wrong, that women would just date poor guys?
Man, I've seen a lot of homosexuals in these apartments, a whole dude in the house playing video games all day, and I got to go change the AC filter.
So you're saying that women who do such things really don't have a choice. It's in their economic best interest to do that. Because let's say a lawyer, or like that Blair Underwood type nigga and Set It Off, he was to come and meet a Section 8 chick. She would actually lose her, because he's not going to live with her. Mm-hmm. She would actually lose her Section 8, get placed on the back of the list if she messes with dude.
Yeah, you have an incentive to keep doing it. I mean, if your rent is let's say if your rent is $2,200, you can get $2,000 of that paid for by Section 8. Right. And right. You're paying the tenant can work a part-time job and earn enough to pay that $200 and be good. And the same people are probably on SNAP and probably on other programs. So
yeah, no, I get that, but yeah. I'm just saying, like, the relationship aspect of it. Her pussy is capped to the brokest niggas alive.
I mean, dating a productive man would end it.
Well, Bernard, you're muted. But no, her pussy is.
No, I was just saying she hit the jackpot if she can get that dude to come in. If the dude that comes in don't have an on the record job, like he's a nickel bag king, then they hood rich, because all the incentives and welfare, all that, you got their expenses are low and they making money off the record. So that's what that be. But overall, you are absolutely right. It de-incentivizes what I guess everybody else in the world would call normal. I mean, everybody else in the country would call normal, so there's that.
Well, it incentivizes something else, but I mean, there are a group of guys with bags of weed who think that they're actually appealing, but really they're tricking in a very real way, like they're just tricking in a different way. by their definition of tricking. So it's a very bizarre dynamic. Just saying. Like, so those who complain, like, oh, she's not into this particular, well, she might be. She just can't because her pussy is capped. There's, there's a ceiling. There is a, spiked ceiling under which she must maintain her pussy. Like that is the saddest thing I think I can hear. It is. It's kind of like is kind of like back in the day when they say, don't look at white women. They're basically saying, to these women, hey, don't look at middle class dick. Don't you dare, don't you dare think about that. Don't you dare think about that dick over there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's twofold because they would lose their independence as well, right? They would stop being dominant in their own space.
So, all right.
Wait,
real
somebody
quick.
says Section 8 can go towards buying a house. How does that work?
What?
I'm not sure. Not unless it's some sort of weird lease to own, which has actually been outlawed a lot of places.
Well,
all right.
I could see how, like, the money you save, you can buy a house with it, but it's contingent on you not making money. So, like, if she gets with a Nickelback king and they save up that money to buy a house together, I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I don't. No, just tell us. Look it up. Just tell us. I'm already reading your shit.
The Hawk TV in the building says it's somewhat off topic, but can someone explain how Trina won the I Am Hip Hop Award? I'm dumbfounded. Shout out to BR in the panel. I wasn't aware that there was an I Am Hip. I think I probably heard that before. I wasn't aware that she won it, and I have no explanation as to how she won this award. That I don't even know the criteria to win. But so there's that. I don't know if anybody else got something on that, but thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. I don't know. Trina is done. Trina is done. Rico Wright in the building says yes, they are deleting comments. Two got deleted. I think he's referring to the original video of the no voting, no vucking. Landmark 22, Biden told black leaders, shut up and vote. Latinos are number 2. Creation Muse in the building with $4 super sticker to appreciate that. Tomcat in the building says black women have sold themselves and her people out way too long. It is a wrap, gentlemen. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody who participated in this stream today. I didn't think I was going to make the whole full 3 hours. I got to thank you, gentlemen, for holding it down for me because I had some non-YouTube related business to handle, and I was able to go do it real quick and didn't miss a beat on the air and did the full show and didn't have to cancel it early. So thank you, Freeman's Journal, for all the insightful things that you bring to the table. Thank you, as always, GC. And thank you, Deanie, because there's a lot of people that masquerade as I'm just trying to keep y'all honest, but really they just on some disingenuous bullshit. Deanie, you're one of the true people that give the right amount of pushback to make sure that we're not going too far over. You give good pushback. So I do appreciate that every time you keep us honest. You're one of the only honest people that try to keep us honest. we got a lot of dishonest people call themselves keeping us honest, but you're one of the few honest people that do it.
Not
so
a monolith. We're not a monolith.
I appreciate that. But all right, everybody who supported the stream. What'd you say, GC?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, Freeman, could you stay behind after this? I have some more questions about Section 8.
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
but
and that's not strictly a home ownership program. Basically, they just make your payments on a rent-to-own type of agreement.
Okay, all right. Everybody who likes, share, subscribe to anything to support the stream in any way, shape, or form, do appreciate each and every one of you. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.
Peace.